We were neither high flyers nor greedy vultures. We were merely children who loved technology. Do you remember the day when we first felt that we were breathing? Back then, that breath alone would suffice. Or perhaps, it was the air that was exceptionally clear that day. The view was obscured by smoke dust. Terrified screams, hopeless outcries, pained moans, and the sound of hard objects breaking created cacophony. It is time to turn the clock. I can hear you saying the only conscious sinner at the moment. Muster up his remaining strength and speed. The others are on the floor, among dismembered corpses like powerless puppets. Fatal injuries were left by an abnormality. Yet, we're in the middle of a nest. Are abnormalities supposed to be confined within lobotomy corp branches, facilities, or dungeons? Meanwhile, the abnormality pierced Yusang's abdomen as I wondered. I had no one else to share this question with. Where are we going this time? The sinner seemed to go quite accustomed to this word. As if we're on a road trip, some were far less hesitant to ask about our next destination. That's not quite the right question. This mission begins with a person, rather than a place. Person, you say. We happen to have a client. You mean, we take requests from outside like our cancer office or something? Oh, hath our carriage begun to be frequented by requests already? Excelente! It may take little time at all to become a renowned fixer. Quiet. I'll be answering questions. As you all know, the Golden Vows are a relatively recent discovery. Fortunately, J-Corp and D-Corp didn't have much interest when we visited their districts. That is why those facilities were populated by no more than backstreets miscreants or ragtag syndicates. However, there are wings that have caught wind of their existence and value early, like K-Corp, whose turf we're in right now. But I thought we'd already taken the Golden Vow here in K-Corp's nest. I never said there are any rules that say only one vow may exist in a district. The distribution of Lobotomy Corp branches are more complicated than you'd expect. They can be found everywhere, spread quite literally like tree branches. Like how one was connected to our estate space. There also haven't been any clear definitions about who owns the vows. Which is why everyone's been playing by the primitive rule that the first finders of the vow are its keepers. Well, that's how it usually goes with slumbering treasures. In that case, are you telling us that you accepted the request to earn the ownership of a golden vow? To be exact, they made the offer first. Since a golden vow is on the line, we have no choice. I get it now. Thus, I don't know how many times I have to remind you of this, but don't do anything to aggravate me. By the way, now then, keep your mouth shut and clear the air, all as usual. Dante seemed to have something to say. Thank you, Faust. Sorry about that, Dante. I do hope you understand it's quite cumbersome to grow used to the concept that the ticking of a clock could be something to respond. So what are golden vows used for, anyway? When I think about it, all we were told is a vague order to collect them, nothing about what the company plans to do with them. They're asking about the purpose of golden vows. I see you've finally become to ruminate on subjects, Manager Dante. Here you are, growing curious about the company's plans. Then I ought to aid your management as a guide by providing kind explanation. The golden vows. They are branches, as their name suggests. That's what we call stems growing from the trunk of a tree. These ones happen to have a golden glow. Forsooth. Don Quixote was the only one responding passionately to this information. Thanks to this exchange, he painted me as an ignorant bloke who doesn't even know what a branch is. Quixote just shrugs at me as if to chaff me for expecting a real answer. Verg, the road is blocked. Should I go around it? It's blocked? Strange as a blocked road. It was in the middle of K-Corp's nest. It's unlikely there's a scene. Before Ishmael could finish his sentence, a dolt out of the window interrupted her. Something got flung at the bus and boinked off. That was a person, wasn't it? A male individual who appears to be in his early 40s. There seems to be a serious injury in his occipital region. He had already died before the impact. Yeah, sure. Doesn't seem like the average scuffle. Pit stop. Problem you can handle, come back after you're done. And what about if it isn't? The clock will have to spin until it's been dealt with. That's one elegant way to tell us to go die 1,000 deaths. Now Now then,
그럼 전원
off the
하차.
bus.
왜?
Why?
어차피 이렇게
Right, you
말할
gotta
거
say the same
아니었어.
thing anyway.
대신
Saved you the
말해준
trouble.
거잖아.
기대되네요.
I just can't wait. What adventures are in store for us this time? I love Honolulu.
준비한 대로만 하면 버스 너머로 봤다시피
As you saw through the bus, you're in the middle of a nest. A place that should be furthest from unexpected trouble.
거리가 제일 멀어.
Would that mean this is a precious commotion? Everyone except drowsy Honolulu is tense up, carefully observing what's going on. Is that? Someone was running our way to the hurry from the other side. The civilian was too hurried to look ahead, so they bumped into the sinners and fell to the ground. Don't go that way! Come now, you may rest easy! We have galloped hither to save innocent lives such as yours, for we are— There are no such things as heroes, so please don't say anything unnecessary. Oi, you need to cross here. If you had to stop us for nothing, we'll give you a taste of the bat. Looking at Heathcliff's intimidating face and Ishmael's frown expression, Charn's civilians seemed to take a moment to consider which would be more of a threat. There's something ahead. Something that shouldn't be real. I don't know what it was. I've never seen anything like it. Everyone was screaming and running, then people rolling on the floor, set on fire. Did the entity you witnessed have a form that does not resemble a human? Yeah, you're right. That's right. Then if it isn't a person, keeping the suspected possibilities in our mind, we headed for the center of the disturbance. What's going on here? It could, be distortion or whatever, no? Like that chicken place? No, that's different. This one's an abnormality, not a distortion. I'm sure of this, somehow. As Dante suggested, that entity is likely to be an abnormality as our manager is able to sense it. But then, why? Why is an abnormality in the middle of a nest? It's a phenomenon of which Faust has never been notified. Most likely the bottom port facilities were shut down as soon as the wing was dissolved. I was reminded of the site burial Yuri told us about, but I quickly shook off those gloomy memories. Even if an abnormality did break out in the meantime, there should have been a report informing us of such a fact before the mission. It's hard to imagine that the LCC would have been unable to notice if such an event had occurred. Could they be security staff that gets sent by K-Corp? Rather than suppressing the abnormality, they're just getting completely wrecked. Sort of takes back the time we get beat up bad in D-Corp's district. Aw, come on! First that chicken restaurant guy goes cuckoo, and now this? I'm really over this kind of test of... Aw, come on! First that chicken restaurant guy goes cuckoo, and now this? I'm really over this kind of Nest K welcome. Right as they complained... Gah! Bloody! Debris created by the rampaging abnormality narrowly grazed past us. Ha! The hell are you doing? Just watch from here won't do us any good! You'll crush us all to a pulp. You're gravely mistaken. Have that insane brat's daily ramblings finally managed to brainwash you? Oh, Hart? I prithee, who dost thou mean by this insane brat? The guide only instructed us to return once the commotion has been dealt with. He never ordered us to go deal with it ourselves. For goodness sake, what's it to be so damn obtuse about? Didn't you see what happened? It almost blew my head off! Who knows what else will happen if it keeps up? This'll be over, we beat the damn thing down. What else do we got? Hawk in a seat to keep us watching and gobbling some chicken? Ah! No need to waste our lives on fights unrelated to our missions. I'm sure you filth didn't even realize, but here's the thing. The moment you die, the less efficient you become in battle. Experiencing a certain pain will make you learn to fear and avoid it. People are dying over there as we speak, though. Although it will cost much time and many lives, they will eventually suppress it. Just as we. And I must say, I didn't expect a whining amateur to cry out for his parents whenever he died willingly suggests that self-sacrifice. That's become a triviality to you, has it? If we must make the best decision between the sinners, it's right to listen to her. We're not fixers, and we certainly cannot be heroes. Turning the clock obviously hurts when I do it, and the pain is something I can never get used to. And yet, we should suppress it. I can't logically explain why, but it feels like we should. I'd have crushed that clock and run out of there if you gobbled the same rubbish clock face. If that is your decision, I will abide by it. Yeah, I'm sure you made the right call. Hey, thank you for making that decision.
별것도 아닌 일에
You worry too much over
쓸데없이
little things.
잡생각이 많군.
Fox, you won't be an artist.
다른 누구도 아닌
This judgment was made by none
당신을
other
위한
than you,
결정이었습니다.
executive manager.
관리자님.
The sinners walk ahead after leaving me comments. While the others moved forward, Faust remained and gave me a peculiar stare. What is it? You think my judgment was inefficient?
아니요.
No. I just thought it'd be interesting to see how you'd react once you've reclaimed your memories. Faust's strange statement held me in place for a moment. I decided I want to deal with the questions that are immediately ahead of me first. Faust, I've been wondering for a while. Are you really okay with being treated like this, considering your talent and everything? Someone of her caliber should have no problem enjoying a luxurious life in the city. Faust doesn't mind. Additionally, talent feels like an incorrect word to describe Faust. Many can possess talent, but Faust does not want to be included in the many. Among the sinners, if we were looking for a talented individual of most commonly agreed definition, that would be Hisang. For your information, I am a genius. Hisang stops walking behind the other sinners and turns around to face me. Looking again, his eyes actually stare into the emptiness behind me. I am no such individual. I have long stopped fluttering my wings. Thus, it would be no use to discuss my talent. Curiously enough, I find some sinners feel more distant as we spend more time together. What's that flying machine? It's been irking me. Got the urge to SID for the 3000th time. That is a device called a drone. Oh, that might be combat drones K-Corp sent to help us. Wing seems to be above average in terms of technology. No, viewing its design, it does not appear to be equipped with combat functionalities. It also has a camera at the center. Well, I guess it makes sense to do a close look at what's happening in a well-off nest. Abashed, Ishmael mumbled. Oh, will we be featured on the thing called the news? Wait, something's off. Why are they only filming corpses and dying people? Well, it's the provocative stuff that draws more attention, doesn't it? Look at this terrible incident. See how morbid it is, or something like that. But hold up, kiddo, in front of you. This is definitely weird. Sinclair! Look at this thing. Why does it have its camera glued to me? I don't appreciate a soulless audience. There is a considerable number of them in these drones. They appear to be deliberately preventing us from entering the area where the abnormality is. Can't be. We're here to help, so they'd have no reason to get in our way, right? Now the drones started lining up and forming walls to stop us from proceeding any farther. Greetings, citizens. Please keep 10 meters of distance for your own safety. K-Corp staff has been dispatched. Your safety is assured. Please keep 10 meters of distance. No, look, the staff's being slaughtered over there, can't you see? Greetings, citizen. Your safety is assured. Please keep 10 meters of distance. Ah, instructions make no sense. What difference is 10 meters gonna make in this mess? Not gonna do us any favors, huh? I know if they're malfunctioning or just badly designed, we have to get rid of all these before we can get to the abnormality. That's the last of them. They aren't gonna make us pay for the damages, are they? I'll try to report it as an act of self-defense. Val, darling, did I ever tell you this? You're really just so... how do I put it? You rock! You were rather late to realize it. Something feels strange about this abnormality. It doesn't quite feel like the others. Sure, if we have that much experience sent apart. Well, I guess there's a crowd around just shouting and yelling. It's like these abnormalities. How do they show up in the middle of the nest? And how did they get more horrifying? I've seen that one in mirror dungeons a few times, too. Never in a fight, though. Come to think of it, what was the deal with those abnormalities in the mirror dungeon that didn't fight us? Those were glimpses into the abnormalities and spaces and habitats that lead to the cracks in the mirror world. It is a chasm, incredibly narrow and unstable. Indeed, which only allowed for limited interaction. Forget that. All I want to know is why are these so rough? Those nasty will be faced on the railway. That is certain. Besides, what is all this sickening fluid dripping? As the sinners pointed out, the abnormalities here were clearly different from what we encountered before. This is... it oozes a mysterious liquid of a blue glint. We have no time to analyze his constituents. We should be more careful to not come into contact with him. Yeesh, no need to tell me. I'm not about to smudge myself with that. Oi! These things eat bad food off the floor, what? It's like they got rabies. Huh? Above you, Mr. Heathcliff! Heathcliff was knocked to the ground, unable to resist. Manager, it looks like you have to work now. Please remember I gave you my expulsive executive manager. All men, prepare for battle! Where did it come to this? I've come too far to be afraid of pulling dead sinners back to life. Let's beat him and head back. As the prolonged cycles of pain came to an end, the abnormalities has been successfully suppressed. We can return to the bus now. It was a success that accompanied many deaths and revivals on our side, but I nodded anyway. We got back on the bus, harboring a few unanswered questions. You came back later than expected. I was just about to take my first nap in a while. I explained the oddities I ran into earlier to Julius. To be more precise, Faust speaking. I was expecting him to coolly tell me to do my job as a middle manager and follow whatever orders I'm given, but his answer was surprisingly earnest. The existence of abnormalities has been almost completely unknown to the public, and we don't possess all the details on them. Didn't think you'd admit it right away. Faust flinched a little, but she did relay what I said. Enigmatic as they are, let's leave Miss Faust and the other departments of our proud Limbus company to uncover all the details in the future, as we likely ought to. Will do. Was Faust given any time to do some sort of research on this job? The mysteries were left unsolved, but if Faust had accepted the suggestion about a hitch, that probably means she's thought of a way. You, why do you have your shoulders hunched over like that? You're short enough as you are, and this shrunken posture makes you practically imperceptible. I hope to meet Lord Siegfried again. Was Lord Siegfried again? Isn't that the man who took photos himself while cutting his down with one hand? Right, that's Zach Bridger. Ishmael's breathing audibly through her nose. The incident at the checkpoint must have left some deep grudges for her. Eager was I to show him my valiant acts of rescuing imperiled civilians. I vow that I shall meet him again as a fixer of noble cause. Reunions are more touching if it's after a long time, Don Quixote. I'm trying to think it's a good thing he didn't show up today. It really is strange, though. He's not one to miss spectacles with this many spectators around. Is he kind of like a celebrity then? You could say that. He has a flair for showmanship, so it's usual for K-Corp to take advantage of these kind of commotions by sending him. But if he hasn't shown up for this perfect opportunity to draw the public's full attention, that means this is something they want people to notice. I shan't take such vicious slander of Lord Siegfried! On the 5th row of page 42 of his autobiography, the hero should keep smiling until his last. He writes that he shall be there to aid the weak no matter when and where. Alright, you best hold that belief of yours dearly. That way, you'll have something to cling to when you face the extreme future.
당연한 결과죠. 저는 선택받았으니까. 그렇겠죠?
As the futile conversations reached an end, the bus lazily pulled to stop. We'd arrived in front of a building so tall it would take a while to count the floors. A few shrank down as if intimidated. I understood Sinclair being late, but Heathcliff and Ishmael also seemed to be pressured. A few looked around with curious eyes, and some others walked and carried themselves as if they knew they deserved royal treatment. I guess we've earned ourselves some renown. We're finally being invited to places regular people would live. Let me make one thing clear. If the requests and rewards load of tosh like last time, I'm out. Heathcliff ground his teeth, whether by Hong Lu's words or due to the memories that we got into last time we were here. You're a little late, as expected. As expected? That man is... It's a pleasure to meet you again. I want you to know this is my heartfelt sentiment, not a formality. A familiar face I never expected to see again greeted us. I'm out. Already told ya. Give it a moment. At least hear what he has to say, okay? Wait, go? You even know it feels to have nightmares about doing the tango with raw chickens? Huh? To tell you the truth, my last request was a test to measure your competence. And you passed with flying colors. Congratulations. I mean this one as well. Who are you to test and grade us, you... That's of course at the discretion of Mr. Samjo, my shrewd secretary. So you must be from Limbus Company. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Dongrong. I heard a lot about you from Samjo. It almost made me a fan. Fan? Don't you say we heard that iteration? It's just flattery, Don Quixote. If I'm being quite honest, test wasn't my idea. I mean, you weren't lab hens or anything. And you deserve better than involuntary tests. Indeed, it was my suggestion. I had reason to do so as your Limbus Company is a little-known firm that could or could not be newly established. You couldn't take the risk of entrusting an unknown organization with their press on Mr. Dongrang's word alone. So that means you're requesting us. Ishmael asked for confirmation as if that this was indeed a direct request, her face seeming rather proud. Why, of course, because you are all... why don't I show you to my lab? There are many fun things to see. Changing the subject so seamlessly is only gonna bother us more. Sorry? You're going to take these people to your laboratory? Why not? They passed your test, didn't they, Mr. Samjo? And if they got the skills to take down... if they got the skills to take down what they call an abnormality, as we saw today. Aha! Thou'st had heard? My, traces of heroic deeds indeed make themselves known to the masses in no time! That's a fun way to put it. And you must be the manager. It was Dante, yes? May we speak for a moment? Faust tried to say something to Dongrang, but he and Samjo pulled me far away by the time she stepped forward. I mean, I don't mind, but you two can't hear me anyway. I was too embarrassed to bring it up in front of the whole group, but actually, one of your employees is an old friend of mine. Oh, who is it? And he wouldn't give me a nod, either. Perhaps he was embarrassed like me. Struggled to hide how disheartened I was. Maybe you weren't as close as you thought then? Wait, can you hear my voice? Mr. Dongrang, this individual is unable to communicate normally. That's why I'm speaking, Mr. Samjo. It's like I'm back to being a child, muttering my woes to a wind-up toy, don't you think? That all was a monologue? What are you two even doing? It was mostly because of them I decided to send my request to you. I can trust a familiar person better than a stranger. See, this is why I can't let my guard down for a second. I'm too easily influenced by human attachment. So, let me ask you a favor. Use your tact and consideration to pretend that you know nothing about the relationship between him and me, okay? You haven't even told me who that friend is. I can only let out a deep sigh and shake my head. The conversation that never got through ended as arbitrarily as it began. This isn't asking a favor, you're giving me a notice. We're at the laboratory aisle. Ordinary visitors wouldn't be permitted to go further. Besides even invited by Mr. Dongrang, I will show you to the interior. Wow. I hoped I could work at a company as big as this. And maybe you could have applied to one. Why don't you give it a shot? You're joking, right, Rodion? Everyone can join these companies. This kind of firm only accepts the very best of the elite. Like Faust, Ishmael's remark gave me a good opportunity to bring up an earlier question. Yeah, why did you just join Limbus Company of all the options you had? There must have been better places to shoot for.
저는
Because I am Faust.
파우스트니까요.
There is a certain energy in her confidently clarifying tone that discouraged me from asking another question. What about you? He sang. Let me take the trouble of asking in return. Manager, why did you join the company you work for? I mean, that's because I had no other choice. That should sufficiently answer your question. Looks like Ishmael wasn't exaggerating about the qualification it takes to join this firm. The laboratory was dominated by a stillness that could only be achieved with everyone in total focus. Dante! Look! There! You see that? The fridge is full of snacks! We could take 1 or 10 and they wouldn't notice! And we'd break that stillness with nonchalance. Take as many as you like. Mr. Samjo, pack some snacks from the break room in small bundles to get them later. Understood. That's awesome! Ishi, maybe we should quit our job and join up here? Everyone can hear you,
로자 씨.
Rodion, the work contract says. Joking, Faust. Joking, see? Let's move on to the request. You're bringing outsiders into the building now? What are you, a field trip guide?
잠깐 실례. 이분은
Ah,
슈렌이에요.
pardon me for a
옆부서
moment.
팀장이자
It's just
기획자
Shuren.
동기인데
She's the manager of the
저한테
department next
상처
to
입히는
mine,
말을
and a
하기
colleague
위해
who joined the
찾아오는
company
게
at the same time I
주요인
did.
것이죠.
Visiting me to hurl hurtful words takes up much of her daily routine. I figured someone's gotta point out the massive drain on our company's welfare budget that is your team. Ah. If you're wondering about how we spend our welfare budget, you'll see him in the Department of the Year trophies award, right, Samjo? It would take a full day to list the benefits the department has chosen to best receive. Ugh, you're snobs, the both of you. Is that a rival? I do suppose excellence is followed by envy. Envy fuels advancement, as they say. So it's only right for us to show a little generosity for those falling behind. Should we give some of the pies you bought from the stores to Shuren's department, Mr. Samjo? I was planning to do so. The pepper, chili, lettuce, and curry flavored ones, specifically. That also sounds tasty. Now then, let's get back to the main topic. I heard the rumors. They were about a newly formed company collecting organic objects called Golden Bowels. And those golden bowels are found exclusively inside the closed-down branch facilities of the Lobotomy Corp. How'd you learn about the existence of golden bowels? It was a recent discovery. We'd been using a Lobotomy Corp branch near a research facility as a lab a few months ago. You set up a lab in that horrible place? But I thought they were all buried underground. Well, I guess there were rare resources and documents they could use.
연구 대상에
Did the scope of your research include abnormalities? Why, certainly, no researcher could overlook such intriguing subjects. Researchers must be all soft in the head if that's what they're interested in. Hold on. When you mumble in rubbish and talk to a rock at one of the chicken eggs, did you? I will say, Heathcliff's unexpected bits of insight surprise me sometimes. You led us in dealing with the distortion in a coincidental encounters you could gather more data if your research on abnormalities. Mr. Samjo here is no good at acting. I suppose it's due to his upright way of life. Please understand, we had no means to clearly distinguish a distortion from an abnormality. A person distorts when the mind crumbles to figurative pieces, was it? That was a stellar figure of speech. Did you restore his crumbled mind back to health then? There is no way to piece together someone else's broken mind. We merely showed him the way. It was the choice of the restaurant owner whether to stay there or take that path. Wow, you know so much. If I were a bit younger, I'd jump and hop trying to high-five you. You're always unwelcome to try. Mr. Dongrong, you're becoming sidetracked again. Ah, you're right. Alright, then, one day, while you're happily indulging in research in the laboratory of the Lobotomy Corp branch facility, armed terrorists attacked the place. It was all too sudden. Have you ever seen a bomb set off just before your eyes? It's quite the spectacle. It all starts and ends in a split second, just like the universe, isn't it? Where are the terrorists now? The members have almost nothing in common and their motive is unknown. They only showed up recently. In the end, the terrorist organization took over the laboratory Mr. Dongrong's team stayed in. That must be when the lab was moved. How severe was the damage? Dongrong turned his gaze from me, saying to the sporadically unoccupied seats. You see, those empty seats, they'll stay that way for a while. Their owners died in that act of terror. Looking closely, I saw snacks and flowers placed on their cushions. Probably as a way to mourn the dead.
아,
Ah, this fellow we only managed to recover a finger from. We couldn't find the right place to put it, so we've been keeping it in storage. It should be over at the display in a
저쪽
second.
2층 진열장.
A solemn silence filled the office, but Dongrong continued, brushing the empty desk with his hand. There is so much we had to leave behind.
두고 와야 했어요.
Dongrong.
특히
I especially
제
miss the
얼굴
plaque modeled
뒷부분
after the face of my
만들었던
character.
상장회를 놓고
That was a
왔어요.
favorite souvenir of
제가
mine.
좋아하는 기념품이었는데.
I'll be stumped. Can't tell how much what he says is a joke and how much of it's serious.
그러면
What about that seat
저
then?
자리는 어떤지.
Our attention was brought to a white desk that was completely empty.
아,
Ah, that
저
one is
자리는
reserved.
예정 새로운
We're waiting a new
직원들을
employee to take that seat.
기다리고 있는 중이죠.
Oh, is there an application guideline for the position then? Where can I see?
어디 가면 볼 수 있지?
Ishmael's bright-eyed inquisition was interrupted by Samjo's displeased utterance. Oh. Oh dear. Our Samjo's feeling uncomfortable now. Shall we actually get to the point then? Samjo.
이제
Let me be blunt. I suggest an accord that will benefit both parties. If you help us retake the laboratory, we'll yield the ownership to Golden Bow we found to you.
질문드리죠.
I have a question.
확정
Is it a fixed
계약인가요?
contract or
아니면
post-fulfillment
사후
review
협의인가요?
contract? Will it be represented by delegate bodies or co-executive members? Allow me to answer that. It'll be an immediate delegate body represented contract with no warranty liability. A contractual signing overseen by an observer from a Grade 1 contract office will take place following due process. Contract office? I don't know what's going on. Does it really have to be so complicated? In J Corp's district, we couldn't get the Golden Bow right away despite winning because we didn't have anyone overseeing the deal. Oh, that Ayuda from Mary Achilles. Started fighting after Rojo won the game. It's Aida from Los Mariachis.
네, 맞아요.
That's right. Instead of playing the role of the observer, she left us with no choice but to take the bow with force. Which is why it's safer to use the service of an association or contract office to stand as an observer and notarize the contract, even if it can be costly. That's what Faust probably considered most carefully, I think. Ishmael explained like it was common knowledge. I guess it's something well known among city folks.
이건 확실히
This contract most certainly favors our side,
목적만
as long as the goal is achieved.
달성한다면요.
We watched with our mouths agape as the two declared the conclusion at once. This is a secret, but I frankly don't get more than half of what Sancho says. I just nod like, oh, I see, and move on.
넘기는 거죠.
Isn't that a coincidence? Same for us, too.
적어도 동랑
Are you supposed to be the last person to be ignorant of your secretary's words? Still, I guess making a contract with K-Corp's laboratory means we won't be fighting against the Link staff for a while. You know, those people who keep healing their wounds. The team fell into a somber silence. All the memories related to them were filled with misery and suffering. So you've seen K-Corp's better technology already.
이미 보셨.
아우,
Ugh, we've more than seen it. Head deal with it over and over. Get sick of the thought. Why don't I show you around my lab instead then?
대신
He's not here though. He'll have to take the elevator once more.
드릴까요?
Yeah? You'd show them that much, Mr. Dongrong? That place is off limits for unauthorized personnel. You just made a really funny noise, Mr. Sanjo. Well, it shouldn't hurt. We're hanging out a bit to celebrate the provisional contract being signed.
계약
I wasn't sure if that was an appropriate way to celebrate things, but since no one on the team objected, I decided to follow them.
바로 이곳에서 재생
This is where regenerative ampules are made.
표면적으로는
They're publicly called
HP
HP
불리고
bullets, but
있기는
the underlying
하지만
principle is a nanobot-based medical treatment.
이런저런 고비가
There have been
있었지만
struggles here and there, but at the moment the ampule I slightly modified recently is the most commonly used
제일
version.
대중적으로
Let me get this straight. Oh, the one who supplied that. Damn it, do you have any idea how much that made it suffer?
그 고비를
We barely managed to crawl over that
발로
adversary.
발발 기어서
그래도
I'm relieved that none of you have seemed to pass away or suffered severe wounds.
아무도
at the
없어
very
보여서
least.
다행이다.
That reminds me. I was told companies have different definitions of death on the job and the process of dealing with them. I'm sure Mr. Sancho gave me an explanation of it. So, I'm wrong. Are you continuing your research on improving those cure-all nanobots? Of course not. Each bullets have long been commercialized. Our project right now is the improvement of livestock using them.
지금은
가축
Improving livestock?
개량인데요?
절단이
If cutting,
아무것도
as a
아닌
concept, is reduced to irrelevance,
그저
if it becomes limited to a fleeting moment,
생각해 보세요.
think about it.
우리는
We can get an endless supply of high-quality meat.
무한하게 그냥 질
And it's
좋은
not just
고기가
any meat.
아니라
The flesh will come from livestock
수많은
research and
사람이
improvement with the
연구하고
combined efforts of
그런
countless minds.
드물고도
That's
질
the
좋은
quality and
가축의
rarity
고기를
we're
말이죠.
talking about.
아무래도
It seems
동랑씨도
Dongrong has a love for meat as deep as Rojas.
진심으로 사랑하시나 보네.
Love, you say. You might be right. Endlessly devoting time and care could be called love. Ha! Guess snobby bunches get along well, eh? Don't beat up our client, okay, Heathcliff? Depends on how they behave. You see chickens whose wings and legs are being sliced endlessly. They don't even struggle, as if they feel no pain. Is this how nanobots look? All I see is liquid. When infinitesimal particles have fluidity, they will pretty much look the same as fluid. Is it really necessary to go this far for food? This is a sight too disgusting to handle for a rich boy who grew up on juicy meat, eh? Kiddo, there are a lot of people in the world who'd go any length for a meal.
아니,
No, I mean, this isn't the same. And my family wouldn't eat any meat. I was an exception, though.
왜 굳이
Why does it have to be like this? What I'm trying to say is... I think I know what you're getting at. It does feel rather unnatural, doesn't it? It was simply for the sake of improving food. There could have been more efficient ways to do it. There's one thing I can say for sure. If this technology had been made available in the back streets, my friends and I wouldn't have to rummage through trash cans.
기술.
Technology.
아니요.
No. This is no more than
이것은
breeding.
한낱 사유. 저 찌들은
They will
날
never
수
realize
있다는
they have the
것도
ability to
평생
fly
모를
for their
것이야.
entire lives. These things spoke, staring directly into Dongrong. It was unusual for him to take this much interest in matters.
반론합니다.
I must object. Chickens cannot fly in the first place. This technology is providing quality welfare to many. It's okay, Samjo. For someone who usually wouldn't look others in the eye to glare directly at a person, that's a sign of desperation, isn't it? The husbandry. Something seems to have happened to the lab. Will it be a good choice to head there now? It'll be fine, Samjo. They're skilled enough they got out of that scuffle to take over the security staff armed for regenerative ankles got scratched. An explosion has been detected. Please protect yourselves from danger by swiftly moving under your desks. Oops, that was a misfire. A second explosion has been detected. Please activate the regeneration ampule in your possession, and please wait for K-Corp security staff that will arrive in 18 seconds of... Same old announcement. I wonder why are broadcasts like that told in such calm voices? Won't a little gasping and panicking be more effective in getting people to evacuate? See, getting so preoccupied with all that technology and science nonsense dulls your empathy with feelings. You talk too much. Be quiet. Is everyone alright? If you aren't taking regeneration sample, the cross-compatibility test is normally needed, but we're in an emergency. You look unfazed. Doesn't the terrorist attack confuse everyone to chaos? The first attack did have everyone panicking. Explosion detection broadcast didn't exist either. Mr. Samjo hid under his desk for quite some time. As I keep saying, the attack occurred in the lobby. I was merely attempting to pick up a notebook that fell on your desk. We must take the situation seriously, Mr. Duck. An attack on K-Corp's laboratory in the middle of a nest is not a matter of course. For sure. They managed to arrive at the floor where the researchers are. Oh, I think I sprayed my left ankle. Samjo. I watched the Samjo inject the regeneration ampule into Dongrong's body. Are they the terrorists occupying the lobotomy port branch? Indeed. Speak of the devil. They're part of the terrorist organization? They don't look like really well-trained combats. Would you look at that? You got an eye for that now, You got an eye for that now, kid? It's natural. They aren't the ones directly engaging in combat. Take a single glance to notice they appear lean and frail, just like Mr. Dongrong. I've seen rich slugs that don't get into fights and still get body enhancing augments just in case. Sure they aren't just acting weak? It's not necessarily the case. As various ways to augment the body are, some may be repulsed by it, physically or mentally. Some nests even forbid their residents from getting procedures above a certain level of power if they aren't qualified. They don't want the lowly to rise up and topple the ruling class over, huh? I couldn't deny those possibilities. Each nest must have its own reasons. But, fundamentally speaking, augmented procedures are like high-performing vehicles. If an unqualified driver were to try and handle the vehicle with power output above what they could handle,
통제 안에 여러 질서.
layers of order in the nest would fall apart in no time. So they'd like to prevent that from happening. Sorry to interrupt your passionate exposition. The pain was genuine for me, just so you know.
진짜.
Soon enough, people wearing familiar outfits appeared, along with the unforgettable beats of footsteps. The ones from the checkpoint.
이제는 무리의
Now there are
군대라.
reliable allies. Those robots, they look seriously hostile.
5천의 과다 출혈,
Hemorrhage within 5 seconds. Spinal damage of at least 12 centimeters in
심장
length.
동맥
Direct impact on the coronary artery. Destruction of the cranium.
그리하여 모든
These steps will ensure that the enemy meets immediate death without unnecessary suffering.
불필요한 고통도
You can do that, but wasn't it mainly
그냥
to
애매하게
fully destroy the brains so they can't regenerate themselves?
그래서 그런 거 아니야, 저기.
Hey, if you don't mind, could you pretend to be dead if this doesn't kill you right away? My buddy stayed up all night upgrading the skill function.
조용히
Quiet.
봐봐.
See?
맞잖아.
I told you, but that recoil distance only reaches the speed with the occipital load. Did you really have to learn it through trial?
진짜
Damn it. Should have gone all the way through the temporal load.
질릴 수 없죠.
We can't lose them. We have robots of our
저희
own.
쪽에도 있거든요.
They should be here any minute now.
아하.
Aha! There it is! The Regeneration Ampule Administration Drone. Must be pretty handy to have them if they inject the ampules right as the staff is injured.
네.
Yes, as long as their heads aren't lost in the ampules injected before the golden time passes and the brain stops functioning, they're practically undying.
장기가
Injuries like holes in internal organs,
옳고
broken bones
뼈가
can be healed
부러지는
in
것
seconds.
정도는 수초네.
그렇다고.
Even still, they wouldn't be immune to pain. How can they be so calm about it?
왜 이렇게 심지어 바로
They wouldn't
옆에
even
있는
bat an eye at a
신체가
colleague right next to them
절단되고
being cut down.
눈길조차
당연한 일이다.
Natural behavior.
몇 초 내에
If
복구가
all wounds can be healed up in seconds, all judgment regarding them will be secondary.
그렇다면
If that's the case,
저희도
will we become like that
언젠가는
eventually?
저렇게 변하는 걸
그런 걸
I don't see a reason to think about such things. I was just curious.
그런데
And by the way,
여기 못
who are
보는
these new
이
faces with
사람은
unfamiliar
누구야?
outfits? Anyone want to introduce
자기소개할
yourself?
사람?
우리가 할 바는
None of our business.
맞아?
True, but it's kinda awkward to be just facing them. Someone's gotta talk now.
고작 테러 조직 따위한테
Why should we introduce
왜
ourselves to the
자기소개를
terrorist
해야 하죠?
organization?
우린 테러
We're no mere terrorist organization. Watch your words.
나는 그 어감
I don't hate the sound of it. Lines up with my beliefs when I was 4. Had to answer the call of a grad school paper. Had to answer the call of a grad school because the paper I wrote in Adams won a prize at the age of 11.
조용히
Shut it. We are the Technology
우리는
Liberation
기술
Alliance.
해방 연합
어떤 기술을
Liberate
해방시키는
what
거죠?
technologies exactly?
기술이라는
Does
것도
technology yearn for
자유를
freedom?
원하는 건가요? 아마도
Maybe they're talking about the animals in the lab, I think?
아닐까요?
You hear that? He thinks we're animal protectors or something. Sorry, but that went out of fashion long ago. Think we're working day and night assembling machines just to fight for happily raised chickens fried in healthy oil? Type X32 bolts are so hard to get these days. You have to order them from other nests. Do you have any idea how much tax is added? You can substitute Type X32 bolts by casting the C9 bolt and tempering it at an interval of 2 hours.
어디서
Aren't gonna win us over by acting all smart. Oh. Huh. No, she might be right.
아니야.
Good work.
그럴듯해.
Can you tell us why you're offering advice to the enemies, Miss Faust?
파우스트 씨.
이해 못하시겠지.
You wouldn't understand. Researchers have a creed more valuable than life.
신념 같은 것이 있다.
That certainly looks convenient. Broken bones heal up in a matter of
너가
moments.
부르신 것 정도는
K사에서
K-Corp provided us with an astronomical sum of research grants to support our research on improving the sample. Do keep this a secret from Shren, please. She might get mad at it for 3 months. Clock would only wind the thing after we've died. Scared of a little hurting. I think I cracked a bone in my right hand. Can I get an ampule? It's kinda harder to grip my axe. We're just in front of a K-Corp drone and extended her right arm. Welcome. K-Corp drones are always there for your help. Administering regeneration ampule. Cannot administer. Friendly entities of type 3J54 eligible for semen injection. Regeneration ampules may only be administered to patients hemorrhaging 1 liter or more of blood. Also, since you have not taken a cross-compatibility test with ampules, we do not take any responsibility for possible side effects. Thank you.
뭐?
What? What are you talking about? You want me to cut off an arm or leg or something?
하나라도 잘려.
힘이
They're
이미
already
그러고 있잖아요.
doing that. Look at the K-Corp staff. They're cutting their own limbs to get the ampule.
어쩔 수 없습니다.
It's a necessary requirement. It would be a tremendous financial waste to use regeneration ampules for every little scratch.
굳이 비교를 하고 싶지
Hate to make
않지만
comparisons, but its value is far above the caliber of small firms like yours. Yeesh. Looks a bit dangerous here. Machines are too rough. They might get me killed if I'm not careful. I want to stay far from the frames to be safe. Just then something grazed past my head. I mean, my head with a threatening shrill. Ah. Right as another projectile flew at me, Ishmael swiftly stretched her arm to take the hit. Turning to the point the projectiles came from, I didn't find enemy robots. Instead, there was a K-Corp drone glittering with red. Executive Manager, are you alright? I'm the one who got hit, Otis. I should have taken the projectile for you. Curses! Excuse me. Ha. See what your robots cost a bomb to make her doing? It fired an ally! I must object. That was not friendly fire. Samjo yelled from behind, raising his hand high. However, it does appear that exceptions couldn't be fully configured. I apologize for that particular shortcoming. What rubbish are you? As you are aware, you could come into this place purely thanks to Mr. Dongrong's win. Having visitors in this place is an extremely rare occurrence, and as such, a factor that wasn't put into consideration. What are you talking about? That K-Corp's regenerator drone do more than just heal people. Why does it look like my body's melting? Can anyone make it make sense? Ishmael! Normally, K-Corp's drones administer regeneration ampules to injured personnel. However, it injects a decay ampule to deserters. It shot the decay ampule at me while I was trying to escape the combat zone? Ain't that just revolting? Think you could pull off the summary executions when there isn't even a war going on? Yeah, why not make the drones fight instead? Yes, you're from us, the value of human life, am I right? The value of each drone we have far surpasses that of 10 Class 2 members combined. Do you understand? You should understand. We accept. I've had crappy coercion shoved in my face too many times. I don't feel like flying anymore. I do understand where it's coming from. There was research that revealed deploying K-Corp's drones in simulated battles increased the odds of victory by 23.5%. It was a pretty famous paper among scholars. Since the old times, deserters who try to flee from battle have been pointed out as greater detractors of morale than the threat of overwhelming oppression, or weakness of the leader. Public punishments of deserters are a historically proven tactic supported by many examples. Understandable. Wait, what are you all talking about? Look at Ishmael, she's melting down! Apologies for my negligence, Executive Manager. I failed to consider the suffering you must endure when you turn the clock. What? That's not what I'm... You might want to hurry if that's your concern. Her heart should still be intact in her current state. Manager, what'll happen to me? The clock hands turn with agony. Meanwhile, Yusang was staring at empty ampules rolling on the floor. Attention! Everyone, reinforcements have arrived! Who are these people? For sure. Who could these be, Shreen? Made any friends other than me? They're fixers from Roast Banner Workshop. The ones we're working with for the current project. They've visited here several times already. You'd really be familiar by now. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Nico, representative of the Roast Banner Workshop. Enemy's faces clouded over at the unexpected arrival of reinforcements. Boring. Let's head back. What? Sure, we'll leave. Take a look at that. Our aura has made them flee out of terror. Thanks, Shreen. This made me seriously consider the possibility that your apartment might be picked as the best next year for first time. Shame about your precious trophies being destroyed, huh? Miss Shreen, pardon me for suspecting, but did you not perchance wait until trophies were broken before bringing reinforcements, did you? I don't mind losing them. As long as the photo's fine. The damage they left is pretty severe now that I'm seeing it firsthand.
들었던 것보다 자칫하면 연구원들까지
Could have gotten all the
죽을 뻔할
researchers
수 있는
killed
상황이었어.
if things went wrong.
네, 그렇기 때문이라도 하루빨리 저들을 소통하고 빼앗긴 연구실을 털어내야 하는 상황입니다.
어째서 K사에서는 지원하지 않소?
Why, then, does K-Corp not provide assistance?
그야
Sure it's because they don't want the general public to know such a thing happened in the nest, don't you think?
그 일은 무고의
While I may concede on that matter as innocent feathers were involved, this concerns researchers in a laboratory directly affiliated with the wing.
연구소의 일. 연고지와 연계되어
It's evidence that they wanted to remain discreet that much, don't you think?
아니겠다. 아무튼 그래서 말이죠.
Anyway, I ought to bring a generous supply of generation emeralds for you all to use. That should be a good time to depart, right?
지금
동랑씨,
You aren't going on a
이거
picnic,
놀러
dog,
가는 거
right?
아니야?
You be okay?
괜찮겠어?
네.
No problem. Seeing you in battle made me all the more reassured about accompanying you.
더욱 안심하고
참고로
Just so you know, the technology our manager Dante uses is on a level different compared to K-Corp anvils, rather than regenerate stores. Therefore, observing it won't provide much insight that can be applied to K-Corp singularity or regeneration anvils.
치료가 아닌
Restoration, not healing.
설마
No way. Is he trying to copy Dante's ability like what that shady bod hid? I can't do that. I can't pronounce that. Shady bod his chicken guy tried his rival? I wouldn't do such
그런
a
짓은
thing.
하지
I'm not the
않아.
kind of person to cram down food that I know I can't digest.
당신 같은 경우는
It has to be common
전투에
practice
능한
for someone like you to
부하들을
send
보내는 게
capable
일반적일
underlings to the fighting for you, and yet you
어때요?
insist on being on the
최전선이라.
ground. Are you that hungry for a medal?
받고 싶은 건가?
아니요.
No.
그곳엔
It's that I left
미처
a
챙기지
number of things I
못하여
couldn't take with me in time.
놓고 온 것들이 연속 3년 우수상 받은
Like the photo
기념사진이랑
commemorating my third
K사
consecutive year
감사
winning
트로피랑
Excellence Award. Black
연구실
appreciation
확장
for K-Corp,
기념사진이랑
photo taken to celebrate my
또
lab's
뭐 있었더라?
expansion, and what else was there?
삼조씨?
Samja?
아,
Classified documents
연구와
concerning the
관련된
research,
기밀
sir.
문서가 있었습니다.
So it's more you wanted to get back the
다른
notes.
것을 가져오고 싶은
아 맞다.
Oh, right.
그것도
That too.
빼놓았네요.
아 그냥 급하게
Really
몸
did just
풀리만
barely
건설해서
manage to escape
수준이구만.
there, huh?
I
I guarantee you, that nerd Dongring's never swung a fist in his life. He's too carefree. He's being some fixers like me.
슈렌느 씨,
Is your department going as well,
그쪽
Miss
부서도
Shireen?
이번 작전에 성공한다고 해서
Honestly, I could benefit from the
당신
success
부서는
of this
아무 이득이
operation.
없을 텐데요.
Three of my co-workers died in their last attack. I've lost too much to care about interests and benefits.
슈렌느
Miss
씨.
Shireen.
그렇다면 저
In that
해결사분들
case, will I be
출전
correct to assume the payment for the
슈렌느 씨
fixers will be
부서에서
handled by your department? You just can't stop being such an irritating bunch.
탈환해야 할
The
로봇
lobotomy
기지구는
port branch we must
이곳에서 멀지
reclaim is
않은
too
위치에
far from
있습니다.
here.
다 같이
Let's head there together.
이동하시죠.
아,
I was hoping I could
여러분들이
ride on your
타본
bus.
저도
What a
한번
shame.
타보고 싶었는데.
다음에
I'll give you an
태워드리겠습니다.
opportunity next time.
얼른
Let's give
출발하시죠.
it for now. Huh? Who do you think you are to decide that? The mission felt particularly tumultuous.
그래서 말이야.
And then you see, I bet the chips and declared like this. All in. I want to stop hearing it, it's giving me nausea.
역시 제2사 카지노에서
There's nothing like head shake poker at J-Corp's casinos. Those people sit at slots all day. They're morons.
뭐야?
What? I mean, there's some up for machines?
이건
This is something I haven't told anyone else. You see,
잠깐.
hold on, you gotta explain in more detail. Things are lively this time around.
마음 들
D-L-I. She says she doesn't like it, whispered Sinclair. Officer Bragg saying, I know.
주소에 게시할게요.
The group remained consistently noisy until the moment we arrived. Only in tranquility can art bloom at its full grace.
어느 팀에나 재수 없는 놈들이
Always gotta be a snobby
나타나지.
jerk on any team.
동감이다.
I must agree. I can't tell if they're here to handle a request or hang out. They loosen up too easily.
툭하면 긴장.
하지만 적어도
There's one fortunate
이곳에
thing, however.
환상체들은 없을 거예요.
It's that we won't encounter any abnormalities here.
아니랄까요?
Why does this person keep talking?
사실
To tell you the
처음에
truth, the first encounter with the
환상이라는 것들을
abnormalities was a
보았을
series of shocking
충격의
revelations.
연속이었어요. 참
It was
하이브리드했다고
hybrid,
할까요?
so to speak. I wouldn't be able to
사람의
conceive
무의식을
such a
이용한
concept as
신에너지
developing a new
개발량이
source of energy from the human
저로서는
subconscious.
상상도 못할 발. 이제
I believe that's so
평범하고
widespread
흔한
standard.
그 뭐냐?
What was it again?
아,
Right.
인간의 시대는
The age of humanity is
끝나가고
coming to
있다고
an end.
생각해요.
Now is the age of
지금은
superior minds.
최우수한
Not too many have
소리의
realized this with their hearts yet.
그걸 마음으로
What's an age of humanity?
그러니 당신들의
You have no idea how
힘내줘서
glad I was to
제가
have you on
얼마나
board.
기뻤는지 모를 거예요.
Some one-sided conversation that was. Much worse than the ones I have with Virgilius. Was it even a conversation if one of us never communicated their thoughts to the other?
인기척이
Harrison
들리네요.
movement. I think you're the only one here who has to keep his mouth shut. I don't see any terrorists.
범들은 안 보이네.
안심해.
Relax.
재생 앰플은
I've
넉넉히
brought plenty of
가져왔으니까
regeneration
살인
ampules,
기계들이
so those
날
murder
때도
machines can
괜찮아.
rampage all they want. An ominous noise buzzed from the stop machine. Alright, all. You hear me? I got pretty mad thinking you might have thought we ran off, so I'm sending you a message verbally. I'm about to tell you something real important, so listen up. A pause for us, attention. It's that you are a bunch of worthless worms. Yeah, that's right, you're just worms! Give me a break, I was all ears for the slow to
그 집중하고
nonsense.
있었던
Gregor approached the speaker as a grumble, scratching the back of his head. Wait, Gregor! After playing the voice, the machine suddenly started to heat up and inflate. The machine is heating up to unnatural degrees. Its components expanding. Oh my, it really is. That's a telltale sign. That's a telltale sign of an imminent explosion.
맞아요.
Indeed.
그리고
And that
그렇다는
means...
말은
Wait a moment! Get away from the damn machine! Heathcliff kicked Gregor away from the machine. They must have used the little time they had to place traps like this.
함정까지
Their dedication is admirable.
존경스럽네.
I'm raring to see the mastermind behind this.
설계자
Are all researchers like that? This doesn't really feel like the time for admirations.
숙명이죠.
Such is our fate.
이 기계도
Will this blow up once it stops working like the last one?
아까처럼
As we suspected, the halted machine began to play an ominous noise. Alright, so, this is the second time you killed my machines, right? Let's see. A bunch of roaches that do nothing other than just crawl on the floor.
괜찮아,
It's
괜찮아.
okay, it's okay.
이런
Don't
걸로
let it get you
울컥하지
down,
마.
Greg. I wasn't feeling anything.
전신거
So, go on and keep crawling like the bugs you are. Why bother looking up when you'll be spending all your lives on that flat dimension of the surface? Am I right?
파악했다.
I understand now.
작동을 멈추면
Once the machine stops
자동으로
functioning, they play a
녹음된
pre-recorded
목소리가
voice clip
재생되는
that explodes seconds after.
수천회로 무슨 의도로
It is unclear what
제작되었는지는
purpose they are meant to
불명이다.
serve, but all the machines are
기계들은
equipped
모두
with the same
동일한
mechanisms.
메커니즘으로 구성.
미리
Pre-recorded. Didn't see that one coming.
어
They're making fun of you, eh, buggy bloke?
털레 아저씨.
It is sure baffling how the whole world is bending over backwards to mock me.
뭐야?
That's a tame reaction.
가능하시오네.
Oi, what's wrong with you now?
뭐야?
What's the matter, Ishmael? Are you alright?
네.
Yes, I'm just feeling a little
속이
queasy.
조금 크게 신경
You
쓰지
don't have to
않으셔도
mind me,
돼요.
I'm fine.
이제 괜찮아요.
저 그런데
There's something I've been
기술
meaning
해방
to
연합
ask.
단체는
What kind of
어떤
organization
성격적인
is this
단체인가요?
Technology Liberation Alliance?
그딴 건왜
Why do you bother
궁금해하는
asking
건가?
such questions?
이름만
All we need to know about them is that it's a
그럴듯하게
terrorist organization with a hollow
오히려
name.
그 가치관까지
Their values are
알아야 할
irrelevant
필요는
to us.
없는 것 같은데.
알아두면
You never know
도움이
what sort of
될지도
use
모르는
information might
거잖아요.
have, Otis.
오티스 씨?
저도 아는 바는 그다지
I know a little
없습니다.
about it myself. I did hear someone used to work in
K이사
K-Corp
연구소
laboratories
출신인
now
분 중
with an
하나도
organization's core
이곳의 주요
members.
멤버로 있다고
Though I
들었습니다.
don't have the details, this is
제가
took place
입사하기
before I
전이라
joined the
잘
firm.
알지는 못하지만 그분도 지금의
He was an
동료님처럼
outstanding researcher who
최우수
was once
직원상을
awarded as Best
수여받은
Employee
연구원이었습니다.
Award, much like Mr. Dongrang is now.
뭐야?
What? How do you know that?
네가
우수 직원
I saw her name on
트로피실에서
one of the plaques in the
이름을
trophy room.
보았거든요.
When you say it's
그곳에
mandatory for
있는
someone of my
이름들은
occupation to remember all the
당연히
names
전부
there?
알아둬야 하는 거 아니에요?
거긴 왜 자꾸
Why do you keep
들어가보는
peeking
거야?
in there anyway?
최우수 직원씩이나
What could,
되었던 자가
what could be the reason a
왜
highly
테러
praised
조직에
employee decided to join terrorists?
아까
I
잠깐
believe you
보시지
saw her
않았나요?
once earlier. She was
저희
enthusiastically
연구실을
destroying
신나게
my lab.
박살내고 계시던 딱 저와
Right around when
수련회가
Shred and I joined the
입사했을
company, she was, well,
뭐랄까,
rather famous within the firm.
꽤 회사 건너들은
I heard
바람
rumors she wanted to test the
K이사
limits of
기술의
K-Corp's technologies.
한계까지 시험 어느 날
Then,
우연히
one day,
연구소를
rumors about her leaving
그만뒀다는
the
소문이
laboratory spread,
들었었죠. 그 종착지가
saying this is where she ended up.
이곳이라는
Saying this is where
말과
she ended up.
여유로웠어. 아예 여기서 밥 좀 먹다가 출발해도 될 것 같은데? 다들 식량 꺼내.
말도
일 들어왔네. 블루, 가볼까?
저를 부르셨다는 건
마침내 현장 투입인가?
응.
마침내 현장
늦겠다. 뛰자.
이
Ah,
복도만
this
지나면
corridor
될
must be the
거예요.
last. Once we're
그럼
past here, we'll reach the
지구의
edge of the
끄트머리에
facility.
도달할 수 있어. 그곳까지
After I
무사히
retrieve my
도착해서
precious items from there, I'll
놓고
give you
온
ownership of the
짐들을
golden vows
챙기려면
promised.
찜찜하게 마무리될
Feels like
것
this is gonna
같은데
end on a rotten
괜찮은
note.
거야?
Enemy okay with
결국
that?
그 테러
Terrorists
조직들은
must have run off,
코빼기도
seeing how
비키지
none of
않고
them showed
다
up.
튀어버린 것 같은데.
계약의 내용은
It was part of the
연구실의
contract to
탄이었어.
reclaim the laboratory.
그래서 누누이
Like I
말하지
kept telling you,
않았습니까,
Mr.
동랑님?
Dongring, when you draft a
계약서를
contract, you have to be
작성할 때는
meticulous in
좀 더
calculating
저희에게
and write in a way that
유리하도록
favors us.
꼼꼼하고
Let's get going. Fortunately, I didn't see any killing machines here. However, a couple unwelcome figures appeared in front of us.
조심하십시오.
Be on
관리자.
guard. Executive
잠깐,
Manager.
누군가
Someone is
있어.
ahead of us. Yeah, but they aren't holding any weapons.
무기는 소유하지
They may be
않았지만
unarmed, but you are an incredibly weak and
관리자님은
fragile
연약하게
civilian.
그지없는
Executive Manager.
민간인이지 않습니까?
Thanks? Otis?
숫자 계산 안
Can't you
되니?
count? You clearly outnumber us
딱
by a
봐도
huge
너희가
margin.
압도적으로
Don't be a
많잖아.
baby.
왔니 지렁이들?
Here at last, Worms?
그 기계에서
It's the same
흘러나오던
voice that played the
목소리예요.
machines, and it's the same face we saw earlier.
다른 조직원들은
Where are your other
어디
members?
있나요, 란선?
Senior researcher Ron.
그 난리통에
You managed to bring more help in that mess, I see.
그리고
And put away that senior crap. We haven't even known each other for that long.
딱
Don't you
보면
see what's
모르겠니?
going on?
다 대피했지.
They've all evacuated, and
그리고
here I am, buying time for them.
열심히 시간을 끄는 중.
That's interesting.
흥미롭네요.
We thought we stormed in unexpectedly.
급습했다고
Yet you knew in advance and
생각했는데
escaped?
너네가 지렁이
Because you're
같은
worms.
거지.
Look at you, getting all cocky after receiving the best employee
오작교에서
reward.
직원상 한 감히 우리를 잡으려고
Raiding here.
기소등등 쳐들어왔잖아.
They're trying to catch us.
혀가
You've got a
기네.
big mouth. Think you're
감히는
better than
무슨
us?
감이냐? 네 말대로
You're outnumbered like you
숫자를
said. That Nuggenio
봐.
probably knows you better
순순히
surrender, eh?
행복하는 게 좋을 거라는 건
내가 항복한다 치자.
Let's say I do. It's clear what you'll do with
계획은
me.
안 봐도 나를
You'll neutralize me, then keep me barely alive,
시킨 다음 그 잘난 체제로
curing me with your
치료를 해줘.
flaunted regeneration ampules.
원하는 답을
Rinse
얻을
and repeat
때까지
until you get the answers you want.
같은 짓을 반복.
그럼 저희가
Sound like a problem
원하는
that
답을 한
can
번에
be prevented by
내주면
giving us the
그만이다.
answers right away. Am I asking too much?
당연하지.
Of course you are, unlike you.
우리는 너희와는 고작
You aren't planning to live like
바람보면서
roaches that feed on
살아남으려는
whatever's
다
provided from
기본이다
above. It's just really getting on my nerves.
아, 이제
Ah,
그러시는 거
whatever.
잘했다.
I've had enough toying with you. What are you trying to...
그래.
That's right.
그렇게
Show your
당장
curiosity
눈앞에서
only to what's
벌어지는
happening
일에만
immediately
실컷
before your eyes.
궁금해하면서 살아.
That's how a researcher should be.
그게 영
선배,
Ron. With an ear-piercing noise, the building was engulfed in an explosion. All that remains is a charred stain. That hurt a lot. Are you alright, Mr. Dongrang?
어,
I'm fine.
단테
Someone in
실종이라니
Dante's party pushed me away as
폭발음이
soon as the
들리자마자
blast was heard.
절
You know,
밀쳐줬어요.
the quiet fellow with intimidating eyes.
그
저도 구하려고
I was gonna do the
했습니다.
same, but I was standing too
다만
far away.
거리
아슬아슬했네요.
That was close. After taking the impact for others, Don Quixote and Mersault had been flung away to the columns supporting the building, their back rows fully exposed. Don Quixote in particular was impaled on a pillar.
망설임 없이 몸을 던질 수
It
있었던
must be the
건
faith that they will come back to life at any time that prompted them to jump into danger without hesitation.
어떤 마음이나
Not out of any sort of friendship or affinity, isn't that right? Don Quixote couldn't give any answers, whether due to death or the pointed edge stabbing through her mouth. Mersault, you were alive? It was my directive to
권리자를
protect the manager
지키고
and see this company's
회사의
mission.
임무를 무사히 수행시키는
역시
That must be it.
그런 거겠죠.
Yes.
편리하네요.
How convenient. You can recover your body without using regeneration.
몸을 수복해서
I don't know. Anvil looks handier.
아 맞다.
Right. Fish
실행일
runner,
수도
right? And
괜찮으십니까?
the other fixers?
다른 해결
저희는
We're perfectly sound.
그동안은요.
폭발 충격은
Your group
전부
blocked
너희
it.
쪽이 받아준
Your group-
덕분에 이쪽은
Your group blocked the blast for
피해가
us.
없어.
So we turned out fine.
그래서
That's why I haven't been taking the ampules. That clock had special powers.
맞습니다.
Indeed.
제가
After all, I
철저한
recruited them
검증과
through
조사로
screening and
모셔오신
testing.
분들이니까요.
I see. Well, darn. All the ampules I brought
가져오는
are
풀들이
useless now. For some reason, Shren lets out her feet and laughed and drops the ampules in her bag to the floor. It's true. For them, looking at it from a perspective that includes me is certainly a convenient power. Fatal consequences can be reversed and only price is me having to bear the pain. No, wait. Is this really fine? Where does this time to rewind come from?
시계,
Clock face. Stop stalling about. yellow-haired lass is dying. Thoroughly ravaged by the blast, Heathcliff pointed at Don Quixote. Hurry up and turn it. That's an awful lot. On it.
슈렌네.
Shren, you've got shrapnel wounds. You're sure you don't want to use an
얼른
ampule?
주입하는 게.
I'm fine.
괜찮아.
That Shren fella,
슈렌느라는
he's
저
looking kind of blank-faced.
아까부터
She
멍해
okay?
보이는데 괜찮 멍하
Blank-faced. Of course not. She couldn't be so careful.
멍이나 때릴 리가.
이로써 분명
This makes it evident.
테러범들은
Terrorists long since made their leave. All that's left for bloodthirsty murderers hell-bent on killing us. I've made my judgment. Hey, what do you think?
그쪽은
Otis nudged her head at Mersal.
그 판단에
I agree with it. What are you two talking about?
이곳에 배신자가
There's a
있다.
traitor in our ranks. No doubt remains in the
의심할
matter.
여지가 없는 상황이다. 우리가
It's
출발했을
thanks to the
때부터
spy that our courts
이미
and plans
정보가
will leak from the
새어나갔다는
moment we
것이지.
departed.
추후
To prevent further
더 많은
damage,
피해를
it's right to
막기
dispose of them
위해서는
here and now.
지금
Traitor. I blankly watched as he brought up a concept foreign to me.
우리 중에는 가능성이
As it is unlikely to be one of us, the rational course of action is to suspect your
이놈들의
institute's
수하들을
lackeys.
의심해 합리적 작전은
This
취소해야
mission
합니다.
must be abandoned. Executive Manager.
이딴 말도
To
안
allow
되는
ourselves to be
노력에
involved in
휘말리는
this nonsense.
불쾌합니다.
I am repulsed by your accusation.
설마
Are you seriously
저희를
suspecting us?
의심하시는 겁니까?
I can assure you that we trust each other
적어도
better than you
입사한 지
people who
많이
haven't even been in the same
알려주지도
firm for a year.
않는 여러분들보다는 신뢰...
Samjo argued, flashes the light furiously bouncing off his glasses.
아니에요, 삼조.
No, Samjo.
충분히 그럴
The
듯한
hypothesis
가설이다.
sounds plausible. I would have said the
나
same.
같아도 그렇게 말했을 거야. 당신들
You have something to
뭔가
say,
할 말이
don't
있는
you,
것이죠?
동남님,
Mr. Dongrang?
저 해결사 집단들
That group of fixers haven't used their regenerative ampules a single time since they came in here.
사용하지 않은 제정신이
Any
박힌
sane combatant would
전투기라면
kill to have those.
억지로 빼.
한 가지 더
There is one more thing.
란이라는
Whenever
자와
we encountered
마주쳤을
Rand,
때 저들만이
They were
일정
distancing
거리를
themselves from her in
피하는
advance. The only explanation is they knew there'd be an
사전에 알고
explosion.
있다고 볼 수밖에.
아이고,
Oh, bother.
제가
Why not consider the
유독
possibility that my
직감이
intuition is just that keen?
왜 아무도 얘들이랑 저랑
What if we weren't using the ampules because these buddies and I are built healthy? I've brought a truth tablet just in case. I'll believe you if you testify the same after taking it.
이걸 먹고
Truth tablet? That red thing? How can you take that suspicious looking drug?
너희는
I'm
선택의
sorry.
여지가 없는
Did you
거
have a
아닌가요?
choice here? How strange. If I were you, I'd take the tablet or make more desperate
나라면
excuses.
먹던가 죄다 수틀린
You're
것마냥
so gladly
의심을
squandering
지을
your
기회를
chance to clear yourselves of suspicion.
나
It's almost like you're
죽여주세요
asking to be
하는 것
killed.
같네요. 아니면
Or did you just decide to kill us all and get away with it?
마음 먹었다던가.
Thought a researcher's job was writing papers, now you're here writing fiction, you deranged maniac. Igor raised his weapon and pointed it at us. Showing your true selves, now that you're cornered, eh? I even taught you my secret to winning at slot machines, and this is how you return the favor?
늦겠다. 뛰자.
Give me a second. I think we need to call a timeout. Might be the sardine I ate this morning. Stomach's aching. Boss!
그런 건 없어.
No such thing.
다음은
Sync is up next.
모군이다.
Shrin!
슈.
She what?
뭐?
Shrin told us something. While we're in here, don't ever use regeneration ampules no matter what. Saying that out loud is breaching the contract. Dolt.
어,
That's so.
슈렌네가
Shrin
그렇게
told you that.
말했다고?
Why?
왜?
I don't know. She said we'll see in due time.
뭐
Well,
제일
we have the
간단한
simplest way to
방법이
find out, don't
있지
we?
않겠어요?
After fiddling with the regeneration ampule in his hand, Dongrang made a sudden move. He quickly jabbed the ampule into the unguarded fixer's body like a dagger. The fixer tried to remove the ampule, but its content had already entered his system. Why do you look surprised, boss? What happens if the ampule is injected? Huh? This is weird. The fixer's limbs began to twist in strange angles. Then some things started protruding through the flesh. Collapsed on the floor, the fixer tried to yell something, but failed to make any sound.
이거
Is it just me, or is this awfully familiar?
모습이야?
설마.
Please, you don't really think you're the only one who remembers that bug den, do you,
그래,
Greg babe?
당신뿐이겠어.
Resembling larvas of snails.
이런.
Oh dear.
그만하자.
Let's stop here.
내가
I dragged
너무
too many
많은
people into
사람을
this.
끌어들였나 봐.
Well, it was my decision to take the deal for the money. Dearie me. Should have gone on a big spree yesterday if I knew it'd come to this. Alright, then. Care to give us an explanation, Shrain? Shrain blankly looks at Dongrang, her face wooden as if she'd forgotten how to make expressions. Since when did you join their side? You really are something. You don't even act surprised. Huh. Employees that can be brought back to life out the ampules. Huh. That wasn't in the plans. It's not fair. When I asked you why you volunteered to follow me to the laboratory, you told me this. 3 of my co-workers died. 5 of us died in that attack. The recent number of casualties in the Technology Liberation Alliance suffered. Oh, and I checked your network history, too. You did what? You're allowed to do that? So they keep telling you. It takes a full day and the night after to name all the benefits of best employee. That's stupid best. Tripe again. I saw that you exchanged tons of mail with Rand even after she left. What was it about? You wouldn't reply to a single one I sent asking to go grab coffee together. I do suppose you've respected Ran a lot ever since you joined. Even your password was set to Miss You Ran. How about that? Wait, is this all true? I don't understand. K-Corp's research institutes are the best workplace you could ask for as a scientist. It's a stable job, cares about employees' well-being, and has the limelight of the academy. But why would you turn your back on it and collude with those terrorists? I saw you as a researcher with a promising future. You had a long way to go compared to Mr. Dongrang, but still. Yeah, Shrain, why don't you say it yourself? Why did you decide to collude with them? The tears wouldn't stop. You know what that means, right? We couldn't hear the rest of what Shrain tried to say. First, it looked like a thin red line was drawn across her body. Then we realized it wasn't just a line. Hey, Shrain. Cut clean in half. Fluid splash from the severed hemispheres of her brain as if trying to convey that regeneration ampules won't heal this. Shut your mouths and keep still. Don't even breathe. The people who slew Shrain along with the wall behind her, without even letting their footsteps be heard, were Fixer is inanely treading shadows. I'll give you the honor of being called Fitz. F-I-T-S. Fixers who work like that would belong to Shiz Association. An association of fixers that exclusively take assassination requests. They most likely aren't ones we could easily fight and defeat. Depends on how much they're paid and what section they're from, but in this case, seeing that only Ryoshi was able to pick up on hints of their presence, they most certainly won't be amateurs from Section 5 or 6. Miss Shrin, why? Gone already. Ryoshu clicked her tongue and complained about the assassins of Treat, even though I couldn't hear or see them at all. How ridiculous, torn by a conflict. Senior researcher Rand was Shrin's mentor when she first joined the firm. Looks like their bond lasted much longer than I thought. You see, Dante? Your peers working for the same firm, and there's still collusion and fraternity. Betrayal, division, connivance, it happens in any group of people. I guess it's an inescapable cycle. Not sure there's any point in telling me this. Say, how much do you trust your sinners? I'm sorry, what? You know virtually nothing about them, do you? Much like how I couldn't know everything about Shrain. Am I wrong? You don't even know which is the one that has a history with me. Looks like we're almost there. I can sense the golden bow resonating nearby. It appears we're nearing the target location. That's good. The photos and awards I left should still be there. Classified research documents as well, Mr. Dongrang. Yuseng picks up an ampule Shrain dropped from the floor and carefully examines it. How kind of you. You didn't have to pick it up. It's the same. this regeneration ampule. Its number abides by the same rule as the decay ampules that were forcibly administered to Miss Ishmael in the earlier scuffle between K-Corp's brawlers and invading machines. That's what's called a serial code, a unique string of numbers to categorize ampules. Ones that start with O original. Wait, why am I explaining this again? Original. Identical to the decay ampule injected to Miss Ishmael. So it suggests that the essence was no different from that of the original. Identical to the decay ampule injected to Miss Ishmael. So it suggests that its essence was no different from that of the regeneration ampule. This series of regeneration ampules is, well, how do I say it? It's like an undiluted solution. It's not exactly like the commercially available ones. What are you thinking right now? Nothing. When did you first recognize me? Since you showed us the chickens in captivity. It would have sufficed to give your visitors a cursory tour, yet you insisted on showing your personal laboratory. You're right. I don't know about the others, but I wanted to see you demonstrate the demon's. What the fuck? You're right. I don't know about the others, but I wanted to see the demonstrable proof of my success. I'm still sad, though. You probably had plenty of time to express your joy of reuniting with this old friend of yours. It is my thought that I no longer have companions by my side. You haven't changed. You've always enjoyed keeping precious things in bottles and washing them. And you were intent on releasing and showing them. Didst thou say companion? I must say, ye sang, many reunions with thy companions do await thee in this journey. In an expedition past the, one wearing a tinted eye did confront thee. Ah, so already had a reunion to celebrate. No wonder you're being so detached with me. How troubling for you, though. Looks like there'll be another you have to face. What do you mean? I thought everyone had made their escapes thanks to Shrane's snitching. But I suppose that wasn't the case. Someone walks in, exuding a suffocatingly thick scent of flowers. Holding a bright golden branch in her hand, an object now familiar to me. She had a worn monochrome photograph in her other hand. It's a fine photograph. Only one of this shot remains in this world now. So many old friends, and not one to greet me with delight. Won't you give that picture back to me? It may not look like it, but it's a cherished treasure of mine. Mr. Dongrang, you shouldn't get close to her. It's dangerous. All troops, do not carelessly approach her. The golden bough may be destroyed. I agree with it. Faust will come up with a way to retrieve it in no time. Why do we keep running into problems that I could pummel and can't solve? This is very infuriating. Everyone yells and shouts with their own goal in mind. Regardless of the noise, the person with the golden bough steadily walks this way. However, instead of going for Dongrang, that piquant and fragrant smell made me feel as though the ground was sinking. She plunged the golden bough in her hand into Yi Sang's chest. And Yi Sang collapses on the ground. I didn't think you'd end up choosing him before my eyes. Yi Sang! You can have this back. The photograph is nothing more than a taxidermied moment. Even while drenched in blood, the golden bough still glows. Contrasting the golden drizzle, the faded monograph photograph slowly falls to the floor. Thinking back to those days, I felt as though I'd been afloat all the time then. Yes, I was enduring life with the feeling of flying in the sky. Thus, I had been living without knowing for certain if I truly had wings, or if I was a mere half-wit. Yi Sang, did you stay up all night working on your research again? I keep telling you, skipping sleep will get you killed. He's something else. Remember how he'd forget to eat or sleep when he got into something? He can't be helped, Dongbake. So, what do you plan to show us at this Illuminators conference? I can't help but look forward to something you've been working on tirelessly in your room. This time, I have made something I call the mirror. Thus it has always remained unclear. Unsure if I regret that day, or reminisce it fondly. Sang! He sang! You alright? Yusang's eyes slowly opened. Their lives are so easily light, so easily recoverable. I see. You have reversed my death as you always do. A flash of light burst out of the golden bow right as it pierced his chest, blinding everyone for a moment. And Dongbei disappeared in the meantime. The smiles the people in the photograph made at each other were nowhere to be seen now. And Dong Rang cast his eyes into the emptiness, reviewing the situation we got into. I'm sure Dongbei's plan was to stab me. Shirain and Ran probably told her I brought help from the outside. But she couldn't have known that Yi Sang would be one of them. Ah, so you've brought Yi Sang here on purpose? Are you asking if I invited him as a meat shield, knowing I'd be ambushed? As excellent as my ability to predict course of events is, I am no prophet. Either way, things went in our favor. The assault was clearly made with intent to kill. But you can't be serious. A colleague of ours just got stabbed to death for your boss and you're talking like everything went well? It's not our responsibility to compensate for any injuries, is it? If this has left psychological scars, you are free to demand compensation, but please know the procedures will be rather complex. No, my problem's with how you're describing this whole... Leave the matter there. I do not feel an ounce of pain, so you have no need to pursue the matter further. When I turn the clock, every consequence is reversed. Torn clothing, bloodied stains, even the smallest scars are undone. That doesn't make the cause of those damages something that never happened. Which is why I have to ask. Are you sure you're okay, Yi Sang? Yi Sang shut down my last attempt to inquire with a simple yes, so I couldn't try to argue again until now. That man named Gubo had no problem raising his weapon against Yi Sang while claiming to be his compatriot. I see. You must have been rather curious. This time, he didn't seem to have any intent to dodge my question. I was once part of an organization called League of the Nine. Gubo, Dongrang, and Dongbei, the one who stabbed my chest. Those faces you have seen were members of it as well, manager. However, it disbanded and scattered one day. Each of us was flown away into our own path. That was all there was to it. Aw, what? Feels like your story is missing a ton of details, you know? You broke up because things happened and you're pointing knives at each other? Like, is that it? Or maybe they were never friends after all. It was no more than a moment. I believe my testimony to be apt for a time as transient as that. He started talking a lot. He hasn't turned into a chatterbox just yet, but I had the feeling he'd soon become more talkative. I was reminded of Faust mentioning once that he never really was the quiet sort. Are you really sure you're okay? He sang. I have always been okay. If that was his true nature, then this might not be a bad thing. Still, my feelings say I should care for his well-being. From your recent memory, have you had any particularly happy or painful moments or something like that? You are devoting an unusual degree of attention to me today. While it does not please me, I'll give you an answer since your demeanor is quite unlike the usual. If I were to choose one, the happiest occasion in recent memory would be when we held an Illuminators conference. And the most hopeless one would be at the forest where I first met you. The very moment my life resumed when I was certain it had ended there. Another moment is now. I am once again realizing that this regeneration is ever so flawless, unchanging. I hope that sates your curiosity. Now, should we not be on our way? I see a long road ahead of us. As he walked ahead, I could almost see it. Although the wound was perfectly erased, there was still a hole in his chest, wide open, with no signs of mending. Oh dear. It seems a radio communication device was installed in this branch. His phone was intensely vibrating as if the call set it on fire. Yes, I understand. I'll return right away. It seems the laboratory has been raided again. There are apparently more terrorists this time, on a fiercer offense than before. So the commotion earlier was a distraction to keep us here. This could have been easily prevented if it weren't for your collusion. Otis lashed out in frustration. It does feel rather strange. I think this is the first time we're going through a lobotomy court branch without facing a single abnormality. That's true indeed. Those we did see were still resting in their eggs. The bounders from tech liberation, whatever, must have gone some way to put abnormalities in the eggs without lifting a hand, eh? Though we will have to see the details of our own eyes. If they really do have the technology to revert abnormalities in their inactive forms, it's certain they possess the technologies to achieve more. Well, well, sounds like you gotta look out, Dongrang, bud. Miss Faust doesn't want to say ominous stuff for nothing, you know. It'll work out somehow. And our group's is K-Corp's most successful researcher, and better yet, two of the greatest genius in the city. As soon as we got back to the lobby, we could see panic-struck employees run before Dongrang and Samjo. Mr. Dongrang! A moment, please! You've all turned pale. Ah. Pardon me, for a moment. The situation looks pretty tense. It's kinda awkward to stand still like this. As I meandered in the lobby, measuring meaningless things to myself, Don Quixote scuttled to his shelf. Oh! What manner of books are these? The pictures glitter brightly! Sounding a merry hum, she picked up a storybook. I peeked at the book she opened. Yiseng also turned his gaze towards the book, possibly bothered by something about it. Soon, a golden haze unfolded. Once upon a time, when everyone had their heads down and the eyes fixed on the ground, there was a person who looked up into the sky. In their eyes were twinkling stars, connecting the nameless stars no one else would look at. The person gave them names, and made up stories for them as they liked. Stories like skeins of thread without an end. They're drawn and woven together in an effort to find a meaning from meaninglessness. All kinds of stories in the world, happy and sad, circled in the night sky. And then one day, the person's family fell deeply sick, their life nearing its end. Like any other day, the person spoke into the sky about the grief they felt. And then, a droplet of water fell onto the person's head. Looking up, the person found a constellation talking to them. Dear person who named me and gave me a story. Thanks to you, I was cast onto the land and pushed by the flow of time, feeling the world in full. Did you know that stars can grant wishes? The tears I shed will clear you of your pain. Afterwards, a rain fell into the world for a day and a half. Everyone caught in the rain was all healed up. The person's ill family recovered to health, too. Since then, the person and their family, as well as all the residents of the city, have looked up at the sky and talked about happiness every night. That explains it. I read that Nesuke has a custom of walking outside without an umbrella to stand in the rain at night of a certain month of the year. Don't tell me. Am I alone in this again? Have none of you checked the pamphlet to K-Corp and Backstreets until now? No one? Oh, that thing. Use mine to wax some bugs, so I gotta get a new one. Does this look like the time to be joking around, Roja? Roja didn't look like she was joking at all, but Ishmael seemed unaware. By the way, that story. It feels similar to what the regeneration ampule does, doesn't it? That rain that restores you to health. Yeah, so, you're trying to say it was made from rain dropped by stars? Wait, wasn't it nanobots and not watery stuff in the first place? What do you think, Faust? I am a woman of science. I prefer judgment based on facts over metaphors. This so-called analysis and interpretation of stars and clouds might be an area Yiseng is more familiar with. He's a researcher like me, but we're not quite the same. We'd better hurry. The situation seems pretty serious. I hear they managed to storm all the way into rooms where experiments are conducted this time. Does this place not seem peaceful for such a dire predicament? I see nary a man running away. It does appear that there has been an evacuation order. However, as you witnessed last time, this is not the first emergency that occurred this week. They might be worried that evacuating again could disrupt the 70-hour workweek policy. Working in this kind of place is not easy, huh? I don't get it. How was this attack possible? It didn't seem like a structure that allowed intruders to sneak into the room undetected. We're running short of time, so I'll explain as we go up. object. Give me one reason we should go with you. Indeed, the contract has been fulfilled. That's true, but as much as I want to give that bow to you, it's been taken before our eyes. Trashes. Is this really right? Hey, what does the contract exactly say? I couldn't say. I'm not too all knowledgeable when it comes to legal matters. Instead of arguing back, as usual, Samja suddenly got busy wiping his glasses. S.A. Mr. Samjo, she wants answers. S.A. Samjo, she says she'll assail you this time. Wrong. I said I'll assail him right now. This is an emergency! An emergency! You should go upstairs, quickly! Let's hurry along for now, Ryoshu. I'll show Sangria, I swear it. Samjo urgently sent us upstairs. The hallway that was clean and calm hours ago has now turned into a complete mayhem full of screams and fleeing people. A researcher was crying and clinging to someone who appeared to be a Liberation Alliance member. Help me! Mr. Dongrang! Please, save me! My staff member is begging for help. Wouldn't you consider letting them go? It is intelligent if you want, I'll give it to you. We were planning to go out for staff dinner tomorrow, and the restaurant we booked serves delicious meat. It'd be rather unfortunate the smell awaiting us tomorrow came from an incense sticks at a funeral instead of being on a grill. Wouldn't you agree? Intelligence? We have no need for it. Huh? You're walking in unarmed now? What happened to your robots that did the fighting for you, wimps? We have no need to bring our robots either. I have plenty of useful-looking ones here. Are you trying to? We were ordered to exercise terrorists. Targets, all parts. Huh. We outnumber them by a wide margin. It might be a little unfair, but it seems we won't have any trouble beating them. Miss Rand's expertise was hijacking machines. She was more experienced in hacking than fighting. Welcome. Here at K-Corp, we value your safety above all else. Huh? Wait, what's... For everyone's safety, deserters attempting to flee from battle will be ejected with a decay meter. According to regulatory rules, the ampule will be launched if you leave the 120-meter radius of the combat area. You are 49 meters away from the perimeter. Shoot. If you do not attack the enemy for the next 5 seconds, the decay ampule will be administered according to regulatory rules. You have 4 seconds remaining. Wait, are we the enemy now? Damn it, I've got no choice. Why? I don't want to get hit by the decay ampule. I want to live. Current status, no deserters detected. All status green. Please stand in line for regeneration ampules. I see. They're weighing their lives as far as, not unlike we do. Please permit us to engage. Got it. Something I don't know. Take back what I said about you being spineless wimps. Surprised you didn't run away when we were scrapping. So dead now. Bunch of book-smart sods who thinks using others' mate is talent. Fair point. Which is why I brought something from the new lobotomy cord branch. Hey, isn't something off about this? Was ego something you could keep on at all time and use whatever like that? Because I didn't know you could do that. We all know ego is some kind of magic tool. It's a lot of work, just keeping my sanity from tumbling over. Besides, didn't someone say all the people who used to be lab workers? How's it possible for them to use ego better than we do? This is not a matter of proficiency in battle. They must have employed some other trick. There is one possibility in mind. If they reduced abnormalities to an ovate form and figured out how to materialize their ego the way Lobotomy Corporation did. In other words, repeatedly researched the conditions of corrosion and trained themselves to repress it by utilizing Clive-off deterrence emitted by Golden Bow. It is possible to use ego well without being affected by corrosion, even after a short period. What they're using are tools, compressed and repressed into general utility. Does that mean the Lobotomy Corporation did the same? Yes. Rather than fixers, regular employees were given the ego to work with. Of course, what we have right now isn't as refined as what the Wing used to have. Wait, hold on. If you're saying they can do that with the help of the Golden Bow's deterrence power, then doesn't that mean it's nearby? Must be, along with Dongbei, who has it in her hands. I cannot help but question the security of this facility. The leader of the terrorists is freely roaming in her building, and not once has her presence been reported. As much as I'd like to object, I don't have much to say. I didn't expect them to break in so easily. The Technology Liberation Alliance is formed by former researchers of renowned firms, after all. I see. So they were villains of bright minds. But I must wonder, can individuals of bright minds turn to villainy? What a bewildering conundrum. Don't let them fascinate you. If they were so wise, they wouldn't have quit their enviable jobs at large firm for terrorist organization in the first place. Maybe it wasn't the life they wanted. This is troubling. I don't mind other locations, but if that place were to be attacked, it'll cause a major setback. Mr. Dongrang, we have an urgent call from Director Alfonso. Oh boy, she's about to give me a talking to. Can't you take the call for me, Samjo? I already have been, but her patience is nearing its limit. Oh well, I'm not getting away from this. Pardon me for a second. While Dongrang was away, we spotted an employee who hadn't evacuated across the hallway, nervously wandering. Watch closely, Executive Manager. If you see a lackey snooping around like that in the middle of danger, it most likely means you found someone with useful information. It would be wise to make good use of them. Hey, we're agents from a subcontracting firm here to deal with this commotion. What's going on? I've been looking for Miss Strain, but I can't find her anywhere. I need to tell her to evacuate. She's left her computer on. Where could she be? Actually she... Alright, we'll find her. You evacuate first. Thank you. Now, while the terrorist informant has been removed, the staff is still in muddle, and her computer's left on. We're in complete tactical advantage. Didn't even cost us any strength. Probably thanks to her pride in that achievement, Otis sounded much more excited than usual, but no one else seemed to care. The computer Strain used, his password was Miss You Ran, right? We were told she was in close relations with Fran, exchanging lots of messages. If we're lucky, we might be able to find a pending email or some other clue on her computer. It should hopefully give us some insight to the Technology Liberation Alliance, too. You're quick to understand. That was unexpected. I mean, very much expected of my executive manager. Alright, good. The problem now is how we're going to sneak into the office. Who on our team is going to walk in there bold-faced and get it done without rousing suspicion? If I had to choose a sinner who can keep a still face and avoid suspicion... Give this humble knight one more chance and I shall succeed! Mersal, think you can handle it? As long as you command. Yeah, I'm counting on you. I've returned. There was one message in Shreen's mailbox that deemed worth reading. The environment did not permit me to print it out, so I memorized the mail's content. I hope you're doing well, Miss Ran. Open parentheses. Star, tier, swung dash, caret, close parentheses. You can skip those parts. Understood. I will then dispense with punctuation marks that do not appear important. I've been trying to figure out what if you said was really true, but that sucker's making it hard. I've been promoted to team manager, too, but I wasn't let in, just because I didn't win that silly best award. And now he's recruited collaborators from the outside, probably to help with whatever he's plotting. I heard they're from a newly found company, and I haven't checked what kind of people they are. I bet they're all haughty and arrogant, just like their client. Still, the plan will proceed as intended. We'll succeed, and return to a glorious past. To tell you the truth, my most dazzling memory is when I first met you after joining the company. But our goal is more ambitious than that. So let's promise to meet again there. In a past where no technologies existed, allowing everything that existed to shine brighter. There, chickens will freely fly over meadows, their wings uncut. When a person loses their arm, we'll comfort them, and learn how to live together even if an arm is missing. We may not be able to enjoy sumptuous feasts or conveniences of modern civilization, and we won't have nearly as many resources at our disposal. In that vastness, we'll be free to walk all day. Oh, I'm planning to bring fixers from the outside for the plan. My juniors have gotten too used to the ampules. If rapid development can only be achieved by means of cause and pain to other people, then I'm willing to give up on all the prosperity it brings. That is all I have to say for now. Yours in haste. Star, star, heart, heart. You don't have to read all that! There's a possibility it may have been a sequence or cipher, so I've deemed it reasonable to read out, and let manager determine its significance rather than mull over whether I should dispense with it and discount the possibility that it may be necessary information. Good work. How ironic. I guess it's fortunate for her she didn't get to see Liberation Alliance members murdering researchers without mercy. She probably believed she was working for a noble cause to end violence until the end of her life. But I agree. It's probably best for her that she died holding on to that belief. I did my best to ignore the fierce glare of my clock from below. I noticed a group of staff walking this way, carrying an imposing aura. Unlike any other K-Corp employee we've met. Ah, you must be K-Corp staff. Hey, I saw some researchers that haven't evacuated over there. They ignored our, or Gregor's, words. What? What does... Maybe I'm just stupid. I can't comprehend this sentence. They ignored our, or Gregor's, words, and proceeded upstairs. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. Sorry, I'm a little bit... They ignored our, or Gregor's, words, and proceeded upstairs. They aren't here to rescue anyone. Their role is eliminating intruders and keeping classified technologies secure. Dongrang interjected like he's always been here. Suppose he's got done with the call. Rescuing is left to Class 1 staff. Is Class 1 not the highest level an employee can reach? Precisely like Grade 1 for fixers? Verily, 'tis no wonder they are the noblest! Sorry? In this nest, Class 1 is the lowest level, and the higher numbers indicate better ranks. Wait, what?! Even still, none can be lordly or lowly to save lives. How can the roles be divided? Bigger is better for numbers and riches alike, isn't that right? Ah, the conversation dragged on for a bit, but there's nothing to worry about. I've acquired the permission. Huh? What? Permission for what? Normally, it seems to require a bunch of paperwork as well, but since we're in an emergency, let's skip the procedures that we can. Should be fine. Right, Samjo? Well, I could believe it could be managed with 3 days and a half working on the report overtime. And strictly speaking, the problem already began when you brought them to your lab without any report. Just tell us what permission about is first! It would seem that Dongbake was headed that way. The screening room. The security procedures for entering that place can be extremely convoluted. Screening room? Name doesn't give a very clear idea of what it's about. Wonder why security is so tight about it. It's at the very top of the building. There are 2 ways to make something inaccessible. Put it underground or at the highest point. As you might have seen earlier, that's Meryl. In fact, I met him on the job interview for a B Corp once. Really? Samjo, you applied for B Corp too? Of course. K Corp was my primary choice. A man of mediocrity like me has to send an application to every wing and hope that one will accept it. There were corpses around Meryl. Appalling, couldn't even begin to describe their state. Oh dear, pardon me, I need to use the bathroom. Samjo turned pale and ran, covering his mouth with his hand. Our researchers couldn't have been able to fight back at all. K-Corp's employees didn't have to seem a problem with bludgeoning my colleagues who didn't so much as swing a fist either. We're looking for your boss. Where is she? What I want to know is how you're still alive. Oh, I mean those Golem murder machines? They weren't anything we couldn't deal with. Bomb did hurt a bit, though. No, that bomb wasn't meant for annihilation. It was a means. There's been an unexpected variable to Rand and Strain's plan. What are you? Faust broke her silence. Even if you were to return to an age without technology, you won't find the peace you seek. Once accustomed to the luxury brought by technology, people won't be able to withstand life in the past. Think of a time when the trips to the backstreets were trending among the rich. They only use the experience to take another look at their own lives and be thankful for everything they have. Hardly any would live in less opulent era given the opportunity. And I don't like talkative people. Not fond of explaining things to you either. I'm not the talkative sort, and I don't require explanations in any field. I was simply curious to know the difference in perspectives. None of us take warp trains. We don't meet the city has to offer, either. When you know the truth, you wouldn't even consider something as shallow as backstreet trips. The elders in my family, who must know even greater things than I do, didn't have any problem using them, though. The masses are ignorant. They won't believe it even if you show up before their eyes. And this is your conclusion? Get rid of everything and make them live in that empty world? You wouldn't get... No, I think I get it just fine. There are plenty of blighters out there who just don't get it if you talk nicely. They only start empathizing with the likes of me after they get a couple bruises and scars on their faces. Gives me the urge to just wreck it all. If we ever recruit new members, I'll try excluding the educational background from the requisites. Although Heathcliff has never told us about what schools he went to, I can see where it's coming from. Still, you're going way over the line. E.Y. Did you call? That man who keeps clinging to us, claiming to be your friend. What's the relationship? As can be seen, the tie has long been severed. I don't like butting in, and I hate speaking for long even more. But I'm telling you this as the smile of that ignorant feigning scoundrel Dongrang is detestable. That one desk, one that was even more disgusting than the others because it was clean and empty. That name tag below it had your name. He was planning to give you saying that position all along? Do you think he's trying to headhunt him? That's supposedly a violation of moral principles between firms or something like that, isn't it? Baffled. What's that supposed to be an acronym for? It's not. I'm just baffled. Orange hair. Say used to work for a ship a long while. Fixer? We have serious illusions about wings and firms. Did you dump your common sense into the Great Lake as a chum? Bringing up morality in the world we live in. Pretty amusing for a joke. Headhunting and changing jobs between firms are done based on interests and efficiency. Heh. So you're a hillbilly in your own language, eh? Should I say boatbilly? Ugh. Even if that was the case, this is really strange. He's not taking Yiseng's thoughts into account at all. Pay it no heed. Thoughts are rather meager things. I am quite used to the life of being taxidermied. Are you sure you don't mind? Yiseng? Can you join the company? No, actually, didn't all of us receive the same offer? The job offer. In my case, I was promised I'd get my aspect carved. I could barely remember a thing, but as soon as I heard that word, I nodded as if I was possessed. They acted like they knew my only choice would be to accept it. If I join this company, when I do, the thing I wished for dearly, the thing I recited to myself every night, yes, the thing I thought would be impossible. They promised to make it a possibility, most certainly. How thoroughly did they look into our backgrounds? Huh, guess we've had our version of wish-scratching tales just like that storybook we read earlier. In truth, even that wish was no more than a futile dream. What? You weren't that desperate for it? Why'd you join then? Simply, I walked for so long that my feet hurt. A shower of rain was pouring down me as well. The bus I saw then appeared rather inviting. Huh, that can't be it, can it? That's enough of it. Our company rules forbid disclosing the contents of the job contract in detail. Acting all high and mighty when you're in the same boat as the rest of us. Foul. Let's proceed. That's when a thought struck me. Unlike most other sinners, Yiseng wouldn't vocalize his pain. Because of that, I would often discover his injuries late. Where has he been holding all that pain? I was reminded of the void in his chest I caught a glimpse of. Was he keeping it in, or was it spilling out? It's too dark to see. What is that? It's been stopped for a moment because of the commotion, right? Yes, as intruders might come up, so Director Alfonso ordered to halt the operation for a moment. No, that just won't do. The losses caused in that brief moment will be tremendous, Samjo. Scratch that. What is that thing? Ah, you see, this thing cries in our stead. So I always look at it with gratitude and pity. I see now. That's what Ron told me about. The voice of the person we've been desperately looking for were heard. Its source was right in front of us. Some kind of translucent veil seemed to drop as she rose. And Dongbek was looking at us. Ah, I've been wondering how, and now I know the answer. How our security was so easily breached, how we kept losing track of you, and how you kept vanishing. You had the veil. Ah, it was so simple. Why couldn't I think of it sooner? The veil? What's that supposed to be? Gosh, you buggers start talking about things only you know again, eh? You might be able to live in the city, alright, but you clearly aren't cut out to be a fixer. Most people will struggle to figure out and understand the source of each technology in their lives, so they've given up the endeavor and simply nod along. Pretending to know, it's an essential skill for making your life in the city bearable. It's an expensive singularity-based item only famous fixers, wing executives of the richest classes could afford. Even if I asked how you got it, you won't answer me, will you? Is what I'm seeing the truth behind regeneration ampules? Yes, that's right. The source of the ampules you're hell-bent on destroying. What do you... destroy? Let me ask you a question. Don't you know how many lives these ampules can save? These regeneration ampules don't simply regenerate the body. These tears can kill as easily as they save. Are you trying to suggest these tears kill people? I have nothing more to say to you if you won't believe me, even after seeing it happen several times already. Fine, then. Will you concede if I prove their safety by walking into this pool? What? Don't slander Mr. Dongrang with your baseless claims. Countless people have recovered from life-threatening conditions thanks to this technology. I have been injected with it once myself. My neck broke while diving with the regeneration ampule helped me recover from the brink of death. It was one of the reasons I applied for K-Corp as soon as I became an adult, because that's not the point here. What are you doing, Mr. Samjo? My childhood dream was to be a competitive swimmer in the nest. I can dive from this height, no problem. I thought it was being a baseball star. You're overdoing it again, Samjo. You don't have to go through the trouble, it's okay. So just stay here. It's no trouble at all. You worked on the ampule yourself. Mr. Dongrang, Director Alfonso, and countless other researchers worked for years to perfect K-Corp's regeneration ampules. I could only be here because I trust this technology. I'm proud of it. I'll be back in a minute. Wait, Samjo? Samjo took his glasses off and jumped into the vat containing the tears. Small bubbles rose from her dove, but a few seconds later, no sound could be heard from the vat. Oh dear, what a bother. Samjo never knew about the unrefined tears. We won't be able to salvage his body. Still, it's fortunate he remained proud of us until the end. What did you just say? Mr. Samjo was a case of success from humble upbringing. I like that sort of person. Fellows who are hired by Wings, even though their qualifications are far below the Wings' requirements, tend to be loyal to their employers. What? Wasn't he nest-born? Right. You do know that being from the nest doesn't grant you free pass to the Wings, right? What's happening? Why isn't Mr. Samjo coming back? What does the unprocessed liquid do, Dongrang? The tear's function is to revert things to how they were originally. The regeneration ampules available now are a product of numerous refining processes. When a person who has lost an arm takes the ampule, they remember having the arm as its original state. When someone with a dent in the head takes the ampule, their head will be restored to the shape they remember it to be how it originally was. What about those people in the botany branch who died like bugs? They were all under a trance, so to speak. By repeatedly replaying the voice that says, "You are a bug," in a sealed, otherwise silent room, the image of bugs will be instilled in the subconscious. Indeed, it becomes more effective with the step of refining and diluting with ideas of human concepts. But, when a drop of tear that lacks any kind of interpretation touches someone, they'd be reverted all the way back to the original form of humanity. The original form? Or should I say it helps you go back to that state? Although it tries, it doesn't seem to be capable of making a person fully reach that state. It consequently removes pain, but, well... So, are you satisfied, Dongbek? You were right. And Samjo probably turned into the original form of humanity or something like that in the Vat of Tears. Congratulations. Now what do you really want? The singularity. Permanently destroying it and everything related by using the concept incinerator. Concept incinerator, huh? You'll use it again? So, Dongbake, let's say you do successfully return to an age of nothingness. What comes next? Chop trees, build huts, make clothes out of leather? That the kind of life you want? Mourning the lost lives of trees and animals you've killed? Look, Dongbake, with an attitude like that, you'll be nothing more than a primitive amateur. Are you really sure that's what you want? You always ask stupid questions, then and now. We decided to use vile technology as tools to get rid of their vile creators. Thus, no one can remain in the future we envision. That's why we could be free from the obsession with survival. What are you talking about? See, you weren't envisioning a future. You just can't let go of the past. Both of you, stop this. I do not want old feuds repeating before my eyes. You sang. You look fine. You say it like you're relieved. Didn't you want him? You're right. I wanted him to die. But I'm sure he wished for the same. He wouldn't resist while it dug into his heart. It was unpleasant. It felt like I was granting your wish. Seems to me you both got a few screws loose. Think pushing someone off a cliff can be justified just because that person was hesitating? Why don't we hear it from the person himself, then? I have no words to say. This conversation's over, then. I'm frankly glad it is. I'll take this opportunity to kill two of my old companions with my own hands. Then I'll seize and burn the singularity. Hemotysis, an optimistic sign. Even with the repeated training of Clyphop deterrents, abusive ego will still push the user's body to the limit. Will you return the golden bow now, Dongbake? I was supposed to hand it over to my guests here, signed in some complicated contract with several stamps, so I can't go back on my word here. Proudly boasting your ignorance, still. And you are weak, still. Even with ego from Lobotomy Corp, this is below my expectations, Dongbake. Besides, I haven't even introduced you to the technology I developed. I know. Why don't we hold our first conference in a while? The daily audio-visual feed has been sent. So tell me, Dongbake, how much bigger can your despair grow? What's up with this sound? Is that footage from this drone's film for fighting the abnormality on the street? I read the threat you sent, Dongbake. Said you'll release an abnormality on the streets if I don't speak about the singularity. I know you were always fond of radical events, but I didn't think you'd actually do it. Of course, produced a lot more tears, all thanks to you. No, I wasn't planning on releasing it. It escaped. You ignored my warning. If I responded there, that'd mean admitting our lab had been experimenting on abnormalities arbitrarily. Thank goodness our contractors happened to be near the nest when it happened. So was all part of your plan to have us run into the breached abnormality? It was closer to an experiment than a plan. The possibility of failure was kept in mind, but I had evidence to trust you'd make it through. I've been keeping an eye on you for longer than you might think. I told you, didn't I? I'm a fan of yours. No, Sinclair. It's always been the other way around. I am the one who grips. How is this? I don't think I want to watch. We generated record tears that time as well. It played a significant part in securing the award, I might add. The employees of a certain department in N-Corp weren't the best people to talk with, but I was able to procure a fresh audio-visual feed thanks to them. That means the reason N-Corp could get away with such cruelties in a residential area in Nest K was... This is what the deal entailed. I think I remember a certain fellow saying this. While Brother Young G's glass window was innovative, it was simply too vast to freely wield, especially for a coarse man like me. Ah, Dongbake, was it you? Are you... There just were never enough tears. I mean, look around you, and see how many people are suffering here. So they'll be doing the crying for us, with no time to shut their eyes. I only made modifications to Brother Young G's work. I wanted to show a reflection of any possibility in its unvarnished image. That's why I'm considering the name for it. Mirror. I wish to see this will serve as a tool of entertainment, giving us more joy. Is that why I've been able to see you lately? Discover this? Dongrang, why are you laughing like that? It's just funny that you're talking so ferociously when your eyes are full of curious twinkles. Yusang, will you tell him to shut it? Why don't you hide your astonishment of a child who's tried ice cream for the first time on your face first? Mouths unable to hold laughter. Exclamations of amazeness. Smiles at each other. Eyes glowing brighter than stars. Everyone there felt pure joy. I only wish that all this would remain a simple recreation. Be quiet. You will simply live on as you are, as if you know nothing. The glass window wasn't made for this kind of wicked degeneracy. We're having an important moment. Please mind your language. And I know what you're saying. Brother Young Ji would have scolded me for this. Ah, but did you know, though, we're no longer in a time where we used to cheer over toy-like inventions. The applause won't be as loud of how few of us remain now. You're just struggling to let go. Isn't that right? You give your grand speeches about the evil of technology, but that's no more than a pretext you made up on the ways as a means to garner support, to reach your true goal. You claim to fight the biotechnology, but you yourself are being plenty vile. When your group took over the lobotomy branch facility where I just happened to be conducting my research, you probably told your followers it was to investigate the singularity, but in reality, you figured out that you could find pieces of technology you could use as weapons, didn't you? Like ego. I wonder who gave you all that precious information. Strain couldn't have known that. How about a game of 20 questions? You tell me that way? Don't talk like you know everything. That attitude of yours always annoyed me. Then let me act like I know just one thing. I choked on my spit while doing that. Ah. When we peeked through Brother Young Ji's glass window, and when we got a glimpse of the worlds reflected in Yisang's mirror, we felt the euphoria and schism we'd never be able to recover from. Since the moment the glass window was made, all sorts of interest groups came knocking at the door. Right, while we may think that we left the League of our own volition, we all know actually what happened. We were just torn apart and scattered away. And that reason for it came from the inside. Dongbake, even if you put my work in the concept incinerator, we won't be able to go back to those innocent times. You know that, right? Even though you are aware, you still can't give up your obsession. Ah, now I get it. If someone were to discover the incinerating technologies again, other nameless fellows of other dreams would feel the same euphoria we once felt. That's what you wanted to happen. Since we can't return to the past ourselves, you're going to recreate the past for coming generations. Wow, what a cute and unique idea, Dongbake. Miss Dongbake, your body! Dongbake muttered into emptiness. It was as though she was talking to someone. Yes, I'll bury it deep in the sand. Hide them. For someone to find someday. We didn't discover the technologies because we were better, or had exclusive rights to. You may be right. I fooled everyone, including myself, into working for my own goals. It was the land we tilled that was fertile. That's disheartening to hear. Are you going to discredit all our efforts at wind plowing the soil, missing out on the sight of flowers? Back then we were naive amateurs, and the past you refused to forget is just a fleeting moment seen through rose-tinted glasses. Did your colleagues who gave their life to the cause know this, though? That the cause you exclaim was only a specious banner to lure people with. That it was as vain as a cloud in the sky. No. And yet, I'm finally seeing it myself better now. Which is why I should plant the sprout and cover it with dirt with my own hands. Isn't that right? The bud has fallen, and our fruit has long since withered. It must be covered with dirt again. Let other fruits be born. Hey, is it really okay to let her be? You know, your mind doesn't work right when you're using ego. Now hold on, are you doing this on purpose? Taunt her as much as you can? And wait for her to tire herself out. Back to innocent times, now without us. Ah, innocence. No words are as embarrassing as that. Oi, keep it together! No one can shake your mind like I do, then and now. Isn't that right? No. I feel like my mind is blooming wider than ever. I've always wished to be a bud, soon to burst into bloom, shrouded in scent all over the body. Even if this is my own heart-wrenching path, understood by no one, I'll still leave behind a narrow, strong fertile, like fallen petals. Why don't we look at it this way? Did you know the League of the Nine has been formed in N-Corp? They seem to be recruiting the old members in their technologies, similar to what you tried to do. Though, it looks like they're trying to erase that past, rather. This is purely conjecture, but we're all doomed to die at the hands of our dear fellow Gubo and be taxidermied, one after the other. All I did was bring that predetermined death a bit earlier. Besides, you've gone far past our friendship to forgive, Dongbake. I was looking forward to staff dinner tomorrow, I really was. Come on, then. It's time you cease the bloom, Dongbake. With the golden bow in hand, Dongrang stabs Dongbake without hesitation. But why? I could say many reasons, but, right. Let's say this is my parting act of compassion. I knew I'd have to vote when the time came, but I always wished to be a bud, soon to bloom, bearing the scent within. Like you, he sang, how you dreamed, flying. Like that, I just wanted to be buried under a piquant set of flowers, with you all. New feed has been added. Soon the screen is filled with yellow petals. Thank you, Yi sang, for showing me such a moment. I would dedicate my entire life to repay you for this favor. Hey, Yi sang, what you say to setting a lab with me? I get the feeling every day spent with you will be a fun one. Amazing, Yi sang. Unlike me, you attempted to reflect the true image in all its unbrightness. The images don't overlap. They aren't blurry or shaky. Yi sang, you're too lax. Why on earth would you leave it as a plaything when it can be so much more? Be still. Just be still, and do nothing more than breathe. For now, that's how you must live. You cannot fly. The League has fallen apart. We have to leave this place. Yi sang, you will come with me. You can close your eyes if you so wish, since you're too faint-hearted. I'll see you in your stead. What are you thinking? Nothing. And the scent of the grave was in full bloom. Ah, and so, am I still a nothing? As the intense golden glow fades, his face begins to twist and morph. Did the golden bow have the power to do this? I don't think we've even entered the fathoms of ego yet. Was it capable of warping the real world? Excitement or questions over matter related to golden bows have little meaning. To you, and to Faust, all of us would be the very first witnesses to what is happening before our eyes. It would be statistically sound to assume that we will continue to witness previously unseen events in the future. I suppose you're right. I mean, look at that. Unable to properly articulate your words any further, Ishmael pointed a finger ahead. Even the dead are coming back. Bodies that have been devoid of life for a while begin to rise. Their organs or body parts were severely damaged. This can only be described as a resurrection. Huh? I've seen some stuff, but bringing people back from the dead sounds too implausible. Even K-Corp HP ampules can do this much, right? It's unlikely that there is absolutely no technology or singularity capable of complete revival at some point. However, if such a technology did exist, I, for one, have never even heard of it once during the war. That can only mean it's not the technology allowed to prosper in the city. If I had to guess, the head might. Indeed, it may be an active taboo as established by the head. It's completely different from Limbus Company's case, where we can experience revival by synchronizing with Dante. It's different, and wrong. Theirs is not complete restoration. Unlike our case, they're merely animated. That is all. They appear to lack conscience and reason. Seems that way. In other words, I guess it'll count as a taboo if both the mind and body are recovered. When I took a closer look at the revived foes after battle, I could see a liquid of a familiar hue flowing from their eyes. Dante, do you feel the Golden Bow's presence nearby? Last time I saw, the Golden Bow was lodged into Dongbake's body. I can't find her corpse anywhere. Must have been moved away when the space twisted. but it can't be too far away. I'm sure of it. I can feel it. Ah, I don't see Dong Rang either. He's likely to be in the same location as the deceased Dong Bake. Until now, we've experienced the Fathoms of Ego at the same time. I guess it's thanks to Dante's particular affinity? That makes sense? The hell are you talking about? Affinity? Do you mean the chains binding us? Yeah, this is one of their influences, right? Then, what'll happen if someone like Dong Rang gets to the Fathoms? Fret not, for we shall find out from now on! Let us vanquish the foes ahead for now! As we approach the center of the Bao's resonance, I notice scattering piles of yellow. With the twisting space, petals were wavering. So the Fathoms of Yisang's ego are over there. Come on, let's get in. Wow, sure didn't expect to be back here. Is this thanks to the Golden Bough, or you, Yisang? When we got there, Dong Rang greeted us merrily. How cozy. What place was this, Yisang? The only place where I may breathe. That's what this was. There are stacks of paper on the desk. Ah, yes, you see, usually, these are places for visitors like us to read. Yisang quietly picks up a stack. I couldn't begin to imagine what thoughts his face may have suggested as he silently read letters on them. A letter I had written once, and its structure follows that of a play's script. It's then reasonable to assume that each actor in the play was provided with one. If so, this may well have been a stage awaiting our arrival, rather than a simple emptiness. From the looks of it, we'll have to read out the script, right? Maybe Dong Bake might just come, he sang. Dong Bake got to this space before she died. Not sure what I should call this. Anyway, if the entrance opened while she was alive, her consciousness might have been wrapped up in this, as ours were. For what reason did you stab Dong Bake? She hesitated a little too much. What, did you want this kind of eulogy from me? The reason. I'll hear it. No, it's really... You knew as well, he sang. In that state, Dong Bake's death was imminent. Her life would have painfully scattered away if I let her be. That's why you can't lash out at me. Despite the anger boiling inside of you, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. This time, the Fathoms of Ego might present themselves differently from the previous ones. The Fathoms of Ego are places or images of someone's mind made manifest. It releases a powerful and complex energy. It might draw other people than its sinners in, like those deeply related to Yisang in this case. That's so. To put it bluntly, it dragged a bunch of clowns in here to act on stage. That right? Although this is merely a guess, yes, I suppose that's about right. We'll have to do our best with our given roles. And if we don't, the image displayed by the Fathoms of Ego will go awry, ultimately preventing our access to the Golden Bough. We must reenact the originals, in other words, Yisang's, actual memories as closely as possible. Alright, got that clear enough, so... What the? I almost jumped out of my skin! I had people who accompanied me, either by caprice, coincidence, or fate. What a fascinating lie. What a fascinating line. Why'd you stand in front of the door like a dork? What'd you call me? Wait, aren't you the one that just... What are you staring at my face for? Like you were looking at a dead person. Why? Do I look cool? She's right, Gapryong. Don't act like such a country bumpkin. Do you want your mannerisms to match your name? The hell are you saying now? What is it? I'm just reading the script, Mr. Heathcliff, the script. That's just what mine says. Why are you whispering like that? You know, Dong Bake. Gapryong was thinking to how we all managed to gather here at T-Corp. That really bugs me. Boy, don't call me by that name. Good acting. The real Gapryong used to always ask us to not call him by his name, too. It is now your turn to speak, Songhyo. So... As one might know, our hometown, S-Corp's district, was going through a turbulent time, many things breaking and changing. Because of daydreaming higher-ups who tell sweet-sounding words with no substance and corrupt officials squeezing the people, the public's lives and economy teetered and twisted more and more each day. With no guarantees of arrangement between wings or positions to apply for, Researchers like us who pursue the studies of knowledge struggle to find even a simple bolt to help ourselves. That was when Brother Youngji brought us together. Ah, I was the one who called Yiseng and Dongbek. We grew up in the same town. Right. Brother Youngji and Dongrang brought us together. There, I suggested. The wing called T-Corp is seeking remarkable technological growth nowadays, generously backing inventions of machines and technology. So it should be no problem at all to get any part we need. There, all the people invent for a living. So, the like-minded ones defected to the district empty-handed, risking everything. As everyone wished, we were free to continue our research here. Even though we had to yield the colors in them, making it so they didn't outwardly shine. As Mersalt, or the League of Nine Literatures member he played, pointed out I couldn't see any color in this place. Even the flower just outside the window was devoid of color, waving like a turbid blur. In T-Corp's district, having colors is a kind of privilege. They take away colors? Colors establish identity. Few better ways to rob one of uniqueness than this, isn't that right? For sure. And colors are some of the little things the poor could normally have. Hey, Enyung, you gonna keep chatting away? The conference is today. Watch, I've made a vibrant amusement. Look, blows up better than before, doesn't it? I have to wonder, just what is your obsession with explosives? I mean, fireworks, Dongbek. Here, you can't see stars in the night sky, thanks to blinding lights and smokestacks filling the air. The stars were so pretty in my hometown. It was fun watching them together. What's more, there's no color here. Where we were, we could at least see the colored flowers. So, I wanted to bring it back in some way. Look, even if it's all black and white, you can still see it, right? Fire makes such a warm color. I'm a bit embarrassed. I don't have anything to show off for now. Is that really something to admit so merrily? Treating injured animals on the streets took much of my time. I couldn't leave them be. They reminded me of the yellow calf I left behind in my hometown. It used to like you so much. I don't get what it saw in you. It was abandoned by its mother. Seeking warmth to lean on is an instinct all living beings have. Well, by now, I guess it has offspring? Probably not. That calf was male. I'm not even gonna say anything. You just hear that. Oh, bother. Here we go again. Gapriong, looks like the bar owner's here to take the tabu again. Why don't you go outside and greet him? What the? Those crooks, how'd they get here? The strong resonance of the golden bow of Yiseng is affecting the entire laboratory building. They were caught up in it as well, but they have no ties to Yiseng. Since they were given any roles to play, they'll instead try and ruin the stage. It'll only get worse as the fathoms grow unstable. In other words, we have to be quick with moving the play's plot along. The more time we spend fooling around like a certain complete oaf instead of reading what the script says, the more enemies will attack us. Ishmael began to lightly limber up, cracking her joints. So let's focus on the foes on deck for now. I hope you have been well since we have conversed last. I see flowers bloom outside, and the birds chirp every now and then. Though the scents of flowers spread the way they like, they create a rather sweet smell once mingled in one place. I wonder if you would have taken in such a smell. I was worried about the gloom on Dongbek's face, but the things she presents at the Illuminators Conference are relieving to see. They carry a certain joy with them. Can I take that as her way of indirectly expressing the smile she couldn't make at us? Well, take it however you want. Yiseng, what are you thinking? I just can't figure out what your face might mean. It makes me curious to know what's in your mind. Those who I have brushed past until now ask that same question. However, as I did not possess the eloquence to utter a concise answer in words, and the matter itself was too wearisome and perplexing to clearly summarize, I would substitute my answer with the figurative blank sheet of paper. You know what that is. Nothing. In truth, it may not have been nothing, after all. I would feel a desire to scatter into the wind in lush blue, sensing the sway of seeds plunging into my scrawling mind. Well, how was my acting? Brother Youngji was a man of kindness. He was not one to rashly harbor spite or reproach for others. You resemble him in that sense. You see, I called you this time because I've made something interesting I'd like to show. Young Ji, what is this? There are simply too many transient things that wilt all too soon, don't you think? This butterfly only wanted to lightly flutter, but to be punished with death for that crime, that felt too unfortunate. Did you bring it back from the dead? I thought that kind of technology was forbidden by the head's treaty. It is no such case. Although the carcass remains inanimate, something has overridden it. That's right. To be exact, it's the glass window. The butterfly can now be free within it. Even if its wings dampen while trying to cross a pond, or gripped in somebody's hand, or crumble to dust, or dry out due to lack of flowers, the butterfly won't stop, and eventually, in the distant future, it'll make it across the sea. If that happens, will the butterfly no longer be afraid of the sea? Splendid! Young Ji, this level of technology could have numerous applications. Young Ji, are you sure you really made this just for the conference? What do you mean by that? A gathering where we show technology we've created as a hobby in our free time after returning from a day's work, sharing our thoughts. Wasn't that the significance and appeal of the Illuminators conference our league had? But this, it doesn't look like a simple hobby horse to me. Are you still not over what happened then? That's how you see it, Dongbake. I'd like to know what you think as well, he sang. As Dongrang rightfully assessed, this is nothing short of a great first discovery. Alas, if frost were to form on the glass window, it'll blur the reflected image all the same. As such, the frame of this glass window will need to be made firmer and straighter. You sang, you managed to see through its essence from just a single glance. But personally, I can't seem to think of a way, so how about this instead? You sang, try recreating it in your own way. My own way. That's right, by the next conference. Is it truly okay for me to handle a technology as valuable as the glass window? You got it wrong. I'm making the suggestion because it's valuable. Looks like the group is at peace. Things were good for a short while. It was as though we were on a trip. Thought everything would be fine after leaving our hometown for this new place, but alas, at the end of the day, human societies weren't so different from each other. Today, I saw something suspicious at the market. Now that intrigues me. What is it, Songhyo? This invention. Wasn't this your word for the League of Nine, Gaprong? It is, but, I mean, there's no need to scour markets and all that, right? It's trust and faith that binds us together, isn't it? You must have forgotten the League's 9 laws. LNL. Fascinating. Yoshu, you weren't supposed to say stuff that aren't in the script. I know. They made me memorize every word of it. Think I'll forget? No technology made within the League shall be distributed outside. Be particularly careful not to be tainted with the smell of money. But, we've been told all our property will be seized if we don't pay the rent for the laboratory in 6 days. What are we supposed to do? We've got to do something about it. The money we earn at the factory can barely keep us fed. We got here from S-Corp District taking nothing but passion with research for us. Tell me how we're going to pay the rent. That's a valid point. Taxes are heavier on us because we migrated from another district. They are demanding a fee we cannot afford to pay regularly. I can pay that, so I suggest we put this matter to rest. Wait, why haven't I been told this before? Seized? Did you know all along, Young Ji? I want to hear it from you directly. I understand that you're upset, but be mindful of what you say to Brother Young Ji, Dongbake. I'm fine, Songhyo. Dongbake, I was planning to tell you once it had been dealt with. I figured you'd be the first to get furious about matters concerning the League. And you sang, while I sincerely appreciate your offer, I couldn't possibly take it. It bothers me not, for accumulating wealth has no meaning to me. I urge you to spend it for the League's sake. What? Wait, you sang, were you that rich? You might want to do a better job remembering your part, yes? The enemies will start attacking again, you know. Look who's fooling around like an oaf. Failing was as easy as reading words on paper. On that spring day, I made a small mirror. I named it Yonsim. And I happened to catch a signal while tuning out numerous noise and shatterings. In Yonsim, I met you at last. My left-handed self, beautiful and serene. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am. You sang, isn't it? What a peculiar experience this is. And that mirror you're holding. It's what I call Yonsim. Yonsim, huh. This is a product of grinding something, scraping even the mind to polish it. I see. I suppose all versions of Yisang were dedicated to research. You have wings on your back, if my eyes aren't being deceitful. What do you think of them? Resplendent. They look quite warm and free. We looked into it and ahead of each other. I only made minor modifications to Brother Youngji's work. I wanted to show a reflection of any possibility in its unvarnished image, without a blur. The stars I saw while lying on the ground here seemed so far away, yet it's possible to see them up close. Is this why I've been able to see you lately? To discover this? I thought you caved your yearning for rising back to S-Corp's district. I'll say, though, this isn't half bad. Dongrang, why are you laughing like that? It's just funny that you're talking so ferociously when your eyes are full of curious twinkles. You saying? You tell him to shut it. Why don't you first hide your facial recreation of a child who's tried ice cream for the first time? Gubo, why don't you say something? You've been part of the league for fairly long now. Stop standing around like a guest. What more do I have to add? Everyone already seems to be of one mind. Trying to be an odd one out, at least have some audacity. Some cold fish you are. I see. So this is how you view the world. The world I view, is it? Did you know? They say every invention carries hints of hopes and dreams of its inventor. Discovering them is one of the spectator's joys. It's a tidbit that's good to know. So, you sang. What do you plan to do with this technology? Do what exactly? Brother Youngji's glass window is already making the rounds. Researchers from other nests have taken an interest, or so I've heard. Really, we rarely saw visitors in the past, but now we might have to start punching tickets so all of those people will stand in line. So if you announce your work here... Dongrang, I have absolutely no intention of announcing this. None? At all? All that I ask is to keep this as a moment of laughter, solely between us. Look, just what is your idea of... He's saying that was the second funniest moment I've seen out of you. The first is, you know, when the yellow calf was being fed milk and it suddenly licked his hair. True, I've never seen Dongbake laugh as loudly as then. That I think we'd best forget. Human eyes are such glistening and scalding things. Fearing they would burn me, I tended to watch them from the side. However, not seeing the subject straightly does not mean I think lowly of them. Even without looking, it is possible to seep in. By the way, is that the same mirror we use? Similar. To be exact, Limbus Company uses a mirror with special modifications. You invented something incredible, he's saying. What Youngji and I did was an invention. We discovered, rather. T-Corp wouldn't have been pleased with the idea of a technology capable of peeping into other worlds without permission. I do believe you know well enough that their problem lies with the lack of permission, not the capability of technology. Although we had figured that, we thought it'd be fine, since we only use it as a pastime between us. The decision couldn't have been more glib.
깨끗한 세계를 세워.
It's quiet. Nothing like the outskirts.
그러게.
You're right. Was the world beyond the outskirts one filled with such beautiful and tranquil beings?
존재하는 세계였어.
Yeah, guess must be the reason everyone tried to keep quiet about it. Right. Do you, by any chance, know a story about the things beyond the outskirts? It said there is this thing that lived here, granting wishes to those who are earnest. Want to hear it?
이뤄진대.
좋아.
Sure. I
네가
always look
해주는
forward to your
이야기는
stories.
언제나 기대.
조금만 기다려줄래?
Can it wait just a moment?
아까
I saw
저쪽에서
something nice over there.
멋진 걸 봤거든.
우리의 하늘을
When we look up at our sky,
보이는 건
all we see is a pinch of muddled light.
한 줌뿐이지. 하지만 이곳의 하늘은
But here,
우리를
I
고독하게
can see lone stars looking down at us.
별님들이 보이네. 여기서 보이는
Since the
저
city I can
도시는
see from here is filled with cries of
고통과
pain and
절망으로
despair,
차라리
I'd rather gaze down at the people from the loneliness up in the sky and
곳에서
shed tears with them.
사람들을 보며
미안, 조금 늦었지.
Sorry, I was a bit late. There are
처음
flowers I'd
보는
never seen before.
꽃이
Maybe we
피었는데
could smell them as I
향기를
tell my
맡으며
story.
그래,
I see.
마침내
Have you
소원을
finally
이룬
fulfilled your
거야.
wish?
오늘부터
Starting today,
밤하늘
even if the
끝
handful
중에
of stars
별이
doesn't rise in a
하나도 뜨지
corner of the night
않아도
sky,
그 별님들은
those stars will light the
세상에서
dark of
대신
the lands
어둠을
below
밝히고
instead,
있으니 그러니
so it'll all be okay.
괜찮을 거야.
아까 그 장면은 뭐였죠?
What was that just now? It felt like a story from long ago.
황금가지가
As the golden vow generated the fathoms of ego in a frenzy, foreign matters are mixed into them. K-Corp Singularity. Tears of the so-called tearful thing.
흘리는 건
그래.
Sure see that.
그 영향으로
Bringing back dead people to fight
죽었던
us.
사람들까지 덤벼.
네,
Yes, they seem to be relevant to the experiences of melting down.
그 눈물 흘리는
Did the mind of
곳의
that tearful
마음도
thing melt into its
공연에
resonance as
녹아든
well then?
건가요? 그러면
That means
눈물
the
흘리는
tearful
것도
thing
역시
is no different
사람과
from
다를 바
people.
없는
단테
Dante, in this world, there are many who seek after stars.
게요? 공간이
Space has
바뀌었네요.
changed. Where was
여긴
this place?
어디였어요?
What are you talking
무슨
about?
소리야, 아는.
Anyung?
우리가 맨날
This is the road we
지나다니던
traverse all the
도로잖아.
time. Oh, right.
그 이곳은
This,
내
the place of my
생업의
day's
터전.
profession, or the avenue
그곳은
nearby.
음,
You research by night and during the day?
낮에는 뭘 했니?
나는 건축.
I was an architect.
오, 건축가라.
Ooh, an architect.
음성이라는
Huh,
인식.
that's a neat occupation you had, you saying? Neat,
근사하더라.
you say.
본래 이 거리
Originally, children used to run in
뛰어다니는
these
아이들이
streets.
있었어. 많지는 않지.
Although there weren't many, they came into my view on occasion.
고작 버려진
Even a single abandoned ball could keep a smile on their
모습을
faces.
잃지 않았어.
나도 어린이들을
I am vastly
참
fond of youth as well!
좋아하고
Are they not the most innocent beings?
하지만
But they are nowhere to be seen now. Where could they have gone?
어디로?
글을 배울 나이가
Once
된
children are
아이들은
old enough to learn
여러
language, they are
공장으로
taken to
끌려가.
factories.
그 중에
Among them are
내가
those I made, those factories whose
내가 직접
architecture I designed with
설계한
my hands.
공장도 있어.
He sang,
효율적으로
they were
사람들을
optimized for
감시하는데
efficiently
최적화가
monitoring
된
people.
구조였어.
It made pressing laborers more convenient
노동자에게
than ever.
박차를 가. 그들의 벌이가
Perhaps the
썩
reason my
좋았으니
income has been rather high is that the
나의
owner of those
벌이가
buildings
퍽
weren't
좋았던
proper
것은
with business.
뭐
Well,
그렇다고.
even so, I like to spend that money to show off. Gave it all for the league.
기억나세요?
Do you remember?
제가
The first thing I invented after getting a job at
제일 처음
T-Corp.
만든 기술이에요.
인식표.
The identification tags, right?
네.
Yeah, made them to help
미아가
lost
된
kids.
아이들을 위해 만들었어. 무섭죠.
It's absurd, I know. Maybe I expected it to help more children reunite with their parents.
늘어날 그런데
Now, they're being used to monitor the workers' time spent on the job in every factory.
심지어 그걸
Heck,
만든
I made those things. I'm not even free from the obligation to wear one while working.
우리가 T사에서
Those were the
이루는
kinds of
업적은
achievements to
그런
be
것이
accomplished in T-Corp's district,
그래서 나는
which is why
거울
I became
기술에
more
더
engrossed
매달리게
in the
된
mirror.
것이요. 순수하게
untainted, unadulterated.
순수하게
I wish to
탐구해
immerse myself in the pure
싶었으므로
exploration of knowledge,
아무것도
so that I wouldn't
맞지
have to
않을
take
수
anything
없다.
from anyone.
그런 것쯤이야.
You need to
숫탄과
face these
착취를
predicaments
피하려고
since the moment
T사에
you made your way
건너갈
to
때부터
T-Corp's territory avoiding
짐작하고 있지
exploitation
않았어?
and abuse, haven't you?
이상.
He sang.
당하지 않으려면
That you'd have to exploit
누군가를
others if you don't want to
대신시켜야
be.
한다는 것쯤. 그러니
So don't feel guilty about it.
죄책감 가지지 마. 꽃은 지고
Flowers fell, and all
마무리
things began to
바삐
make busy
걸음하기
steps.
시작하였어. 이곳에
More
걸음하는
people are
이들의
visiting us
수도
each day,
나날이
and
늘고
twice the noise fills the air.
소라는
여기가 무슨 동네?
This isn't supposed to be a downtown marketplace or anything. It's gotten way too noisy here.
나와볼 때가 딱 적당히-
9 was the right amount of people.
우와,
Oh,
신기한 게
many
많이
new
생겼어.
curiosities have taken up the space. May I be permitted to touch the inventions here?
되겠나? 입 좀 닫아줄래?
Will you shut that mouth? How scary. Don't be so sour, Dungbake. Liveliness is good to have.
누군가는
Some
소란을
consider the
소음으로
assemblage to be
여겼고,
mere noise,
누군가는
while some
난장을
consider the commotion to be growth.
성장으로 여겼지. 나는
As for me, I saw it slantwise as always, as heavy rain might pour for days after a spell of clear skies. I saw no meaning in attempting to fathom the caprices of the weather. I would simply wait for things to calm, looking out for the day's arrival. Young Ji hasn't shown up for this conference as well. I heard he's been officially invited by a wing. This is probably the second time. You don't happen to know which wing it was, do you? No one seems to know. Why are you displeased about it? They only turned down Brother Young Ji's offer to go with them, Dongdae. There's no need to be so fixated on the number 9. What if there are 8 or 5 of us? Say, Dongrang, how long are you gonna stick to your vet routine? I make precious time in my packed schedule to check what Young Ji's group is like, and all I see are children's playthings. Oh, it's been a while, Noel-Een. It's a pleasure to see a fellow from my hometown here. You arrived here later than we did, but it looks like you adapted much faster. But I must say, it's a bit disheartening to hear you call them children's playthings. You won't be saying that once you learn that animals feel pain exactly as we do. Well, I'll take my words back if those animals start repaying the kindness for bringing money or something. Nolan, do you take this for a gaudy action where technology is sold for cash? You didn't even care to cast a glance at us mere months ago, calling Illuminator's conferences out of fashion. Have you come now to break off a piece of the profit you're smelling? Dongbae. Don't mistake it for covering you. I just don't want to see your face, that's all. By the way, what made you so passionate about curing animals? They can't pay bills or anything. How are you gonna make a living? You like to nag a lot. Well, I suppose I could run a chicken restaurant? What? Hear me out for a second. To make my chickens grow tons of wings, and cut them off without inflicting any pain. You only need a single pair to fly. That way, humans get more meat to eat, while chickens lose nothing for it. What name do you plan to give to the chicken? Let's see. How about Flumpy Chicken? Dongrang, never try naming things again. Got it? I may have heard a fake sound at that moment. It was the sound of a crack. Knowing well what consequences the minuscule crack would write about, I chose to look past it. Perhaps I wanted to pretend I did not hear it. Alas, I was careless in my assumption that I could simply observe slant eyes as it comes to pass until it is deceived. Realization comes too late. You know, Dongbae, your words aren't particularly reassuring, either. It's actually what Noel-Een said that gave me an important lesson. That, no matter how hard I try, technology doesn't have an immediate use, no one will give it a passing glance. Isn't this a concept incinerator? What is it doing here? We've received an official notice that private technological invention groups of 5 or more people not registered as a business require a permit through T-Corp. The same goes for technology. Everything that has been authorized by the Wings Tech Agency will be confiscated. Whether they're registered or taken by force, they'll be used in ways none of us want. That is why we rid the world of them before that happens. But why now of all times? Is it because the League's gatherings? No, is it about the window? Wait. This idea that we have to make technology in secret could be a pitfall, you know? Who knows? T-Corp might just give us the approval. A foolish question. You forget the reason the League of the Nine was established. We gathered together for the pure pursuit of knowledge, not to serve wings like pathetic mules. We deserted our hometown for this cause. Now I suggest we yield our knowledge, after all we've been through? Let's see the bigger picture. Rather than just T-Corp, wouldn't the city as a whole be benefiting from them? Technology only has value when it's used for others. Until then, they're mere tools. With this healing technology I've developed, I could save at least hundreds of lives in the city. Did we really squander that chance on protecting this make-believe organization? Dongrang, don't make clumsy attempts unless you're planning to save everyone in the city. If I thought this music technology had what it takes to give every person the help they needed, I would have given my all for it. But, you think that'll change anything? The world will still be a terrible mess. You're right, I thought wrong. What's the point in all this? Wow. Look at that. It really does a good job of burning things. think his creator was a researcher who had an ardor for genuine study like us.
순수한 탐.
동랑,
Dongrang,
그대
are you
정말
certain you're
괜찮은
alright?
것이오.
아,
Hey,
이봐, 이상.
check this out, he sang.
우연히
I
뒷골목에서
chanced upon this deer sing in the back streets.
K사라는 다른
Apparently an item,
나라에서
a wing called
요새
K-Corp is
생산하고
boosting
있는
these
거지.
days. It's a swarm of nanobots that
엑스처럼
look like
보일
liquid to
정도로
the naked
작은
eye, but when you inject it,
나노로봇의 군. 아무리
no matter how
읍해지고
badly you're
다치고
crushed, hurt,
뼈가
fractured,
부러지고
ripped,
다쳐지고
torn, or
두려운
chopped
거
away,
태어나도 금방 다시
it'll all heal up
재생돼.
in seconds. Amazing, isn't it?
그러다가
Only
어느
takes a
순간
short while for the pain to be gone.
아무 고통도 안 느껴진다.
It's perfectly fine to be hurt. I didn't have to strain my body and heart trying to cure things.
나
I was
혼자
so stupid,
무언가를
wasn't I?
치료하려 고생하고
동랑,
Dongrang.
깨끗한 세계를 세워.
아홉의 안에는 시들미 있었어.
There was welting among the nine.
지난 날처럼
Those who indulged in free search of purity and astonishment on their faces as they did in the old days have already withdrawn their
고리를
buds.
훔치렸고 나빴고
In exchange,
낯선
unfamiliar
소리가
sounds
대신
began to
들어오기
fill the air.
시작했지. 일정한
Orderly
발소리,
footsteps, sounds of wind-up keys that signify their position, in heavy, low voices. Why? Why did you tell them the league's location, Anyang? Anyone would have done the same. They said if they don't know the source of technology, I'll be forcibly repatriated to escort. And you should have braced for it! Have the guts to bite your tongue and die if you couldn't stand to survive alone in the hometown! Why are these people dragging me away? Why is it a crime that couldn't yield my technology? My technology was worthless! You said it yourself, Youngji! Help! I don't want to go! No matter how hard we think, there is really only one way. It'll all be over once I go back. If I give away the glass. If you're caught, the league will be done for. Who knows what they might do for your technology once it falls in their hands?
절규하는
Voices of
목소리가 공간을
The voices of desperation ringing in the air did not change a thing.
없었어. 그렇게
And so,
기술을
there were
내놓지
those who
못하게
rejected the notion of
버티는
yielding their
자가
creation.
내 차례가 올 줄
I knew my turn
알고
would come.
있었다. 그리고
And
다시는
I don't
보지
believe we'll
못할
ever
거라고
see each other again.
생각한다. 담담하게 끌려가는
Those who
자와
calmly let themselves be taken away.
숨어 지내는
I'm bored of living and hiding.
나만의 길을 걷기로
I've decided to go my own way. Let's hope we never meet again.
다시는
직접
Those who left on their own.
자기 발로 나가는
바다를 닮은
I saw a child who resembled the ocean.
유리와도
It's not like glass
거울과도 같지
or the
않지만
mirror,
전
but I like the
바다의
things
물결,
reflected on the waves and tides of the
파도
ocean.
같은 것들이 좋아요. 수심을 알
Since
길이
I couldn't
없으니
fathom the depth of the waters, I decided to follow along,
알 수 없는 말을
and those who forever disappeared, leaving
영원히
unknowable parting
불리던
remarks.
자도 있었지. 그렇게
like that,
겨울이 오고
winter
있었어.
approached.
괴로운 경험이었어요.
That was a painful experience.
마치
It was like I was actually in the shoes of a League of Nine member.
기억에 동화되는
We're synchronizing with
것일까요?
their memories. It's only natural that their traces will influence us.
당연히 받을 수
Where is Young Ji, the League of Nine Literature's leader, in his glass technology? This is the price you pay for the time you spent wrongly. Open the door to the basement. How do they know about the basement? One of us betrayed the League. Gaprong is nowhere to be seen since yesterday. It must have been him.
그건 이제 중요하지 않다.
That matters no longer. Dongbei, we must run. Now! Say, how about I treat you to a stunning fireworks display for the last time? Fire can be a rather pretty flower when seen from a distance.
동백.
Dongbei, are you planning to... Let me ask for the last time. None of you here are traitors, right?
여부가
There's
있겠어.
no doubt about it.
말도 안 되는
You're
질문.
asking a ridiculous question. It was me,
나야
Dongbei.
동백.
I sold the League out.
내가 구인회를
마지막으로 남은
The
시험.
last things that entered my sight with the sounds of the explosions were Dongbei's half-scorched face,
동백의 얼굴. 그리고
and
어떠한 색도
our
없이
league
불타오르는
burning down in a colorless fire.
아니지
It
동백.
isn't quite right, Dongrong.
그들은 동백에게
You
솔직히
never
말하지
confessed the
않았어.
truth to Dongbei.
동백은
Dongbei
쭉
has remained
모르고
oblivious to
있었어.
it. Thusly,
그래서
she
끊임없이
constantly harbored suspicion
우리
against
중
us,
누군가를
knowing that it must have been one of
의심하며
us.
것이지.
사실 나였어
It
동백.
was me, Dongbei.
그날
I ratted out the group.
밀고 한 잔.
역시
I knew it. It had to be you fucking traitor!
그래서
The revelation is what colored Dongbei's dying eyes with wrath,
여린 이고
and caused the frail ego to break and fall, snapping, scattering into petals. You know, he sang.
알아, 이상. 대문 앞에
Loud ticks of clocks at your front door assigned T-Corp's tech agency employees have come to your house.
그건 집안 우리 중 대부분이
I'm sure most of them were visited by the agency. It's an unforgettable experience. Yet it's one you couldn't have known, since you must have been under T-Corp's grace as a skilled
수준
architect.
높은 건축. 대개
The first visit tends to be sudden and quiet. Most are flustered by the unexpected arrival, but they still keep their pride and faith as a member for the League.
등장해서 그들도 그걸 알아.
The agency knows that as well. They know their visit instilled the fear they might come again whenever they like.
그들은 알고 있어. 두 번째 방문.
The second visit when things start to change. They now know where my time flows from
내
and where it's
시간은
headed.
어디서 흘러? 내 과거를.
They have my past, present, and future, the shapes of all my weaknesses and desires in their hands.
내 약점 너라면 어땠을까?
What would have been your choice? Under the same circumstances, would you have chosen differently?
그리고
And if so, can you say for sure you would have?
유기체,
Organics.
그중 특히
In particular, the regeneration and treatment of animals are your interests, right?
최근 우리와
You know about
협업을 맺고
K-Corp,
있는
a
케이스에
wing we've
대해
been working
알고
with
있는데
recently. It's an emerging one, whose nest is filled with an emerald glow.
에메랄드 빛으로 그곳에서
That wing might be interested in your technology.
관심이 있-
I'm sure you know this is not a common opportunity.
그리하여
So,
동남
did you accomplish your wish there at last, Dongran?
그대는 구인회의 폭발은
The explosion of the League 9 shattered everything there was, and everything came to a halt for me as well.
나의 모든 멈춘다는 것은
Stop means to cease caring.
심해져
It is a state of indifference.
무관심치
In other words,
이대로 풍화되어
it no longer mattered if I was weathered and stopped,
상하지만 끝
but that was when someone held me by the arm.
낚아채는
그대로 가만히 T사 기술청 직원들에게
Are you going to stand still and let T-Corp's agency take you away?
드디어
Someone like you?
신고시오, 이상.
Have you finally gone mad? He sang.
자네는 나와
You must
함께
come
가야
with me.
해.
고개를 끄덕이는 것 외에
What could I have done other than nod?
것이 무엇이오 나는 그가
If he told me to be apprehended by the tech agency employees, I would have nodded all the same.
끄덕여서 거울 기술을
If he told me to put all the mere technology into a concept incinerator, I would have done so.
그 자리에서
If he told me to hide on the spot and pretend I know nothing, I would have followed it.
들어있을 것이오 다음 중 몇
How many of the 9 survived and ran away? I do not know.
모르겠소.
너무 그렇게 슬퍼.
Don't be so sad.
나는
I don't want to use your tears to fight the flow of time.
그 눈물은
Those tears are better reserved for those who need them more dearly.
사람들을 위해 잊지 마.
Don't forget, you're a nameless star,
당신은
hanging in the sky for everyone who is suffering.
아파하는
스테파네트 씨가
With the
별세하여
passing of Miss Stefanet, we at K-Corp would like to take a moment to express our condolences, honoring her noble will.
뭘 또 그렇게 돌려 말해?
What's the need to be so roundabout?
제일 하고 싶은 말은
I know there's something you really want to say. Which one of us will be the next chief executive? Well, the nomination should be simple, right? What did each of us do, and how much did it help to contribute to the growth of this wing and its nest?
저는 스테파네트님이
Ever since Miss Stefanet began struggling to speak due to her age, I started extracting the tears in her stead.
뭐,
What?
그
Having men by you and read those gut-wrenching and heartwarming stories out loud? I saw the tear production going down too. Are you serious? Wait, this is what happens when you run your mouth brashly. You knew my temper and still decided to play with fire. The board of directors won't let you get away with this. I'll make sure you're finished before that happens. Ah, our dear Miss Stefanet, you were so kind even after you're gone. The tears don't have to be by noble means after all. Everyone, I believe I found the answer. To take the seat of Chief Executive, there's only one simple thing to do: ensure the prosperity of K-Corp. All that's left now is for the Board of Directors to cast their votes. Stop them this instant! It appalls me greatly to think one must have suffered everlasting sights of despair and captivity for the many. Your pleas won't reach them. This one didn't come from me saying. It's a fragmented scene concerning the tears.
아,
Ah, in
혹시
case more
모를 수도
familiar,
있겠지만
that one singularity has saved
저
countless lives.
표지점 하나로 마치
It was like someone fulfilled my old dream I couldn't make
오래전
true.
제 꿈을 만일 저
If,
땅 속에
say,
들어가는 것이
I were in that vat, I would have gladly given up everything I had.
감사하면서
Every single thing.
모든 걸 바쳤을
No
거야.
exception.
그러니까 우리가 할 수 있는
So all we can do is just look at it
저것을 보며
with
감사하고
gratitude and respect,
존중해 하는 것 맞지?
like looking up at the stars in my hometown.
아주 긴 침묵.
An overlong silence shrouded the passage of
세월을
time.
덮었어. 그동안 내 모든 시간을
All my time during it was a mere adjunct.
사방이 하얗게
In the square
칠해진
wholly painted white,
사각형에서
only 2 visitors came to see me.
보태 말하자면
To supplement, one visited in the square within the
사각형에
square,
방문하는
and the
자.
other visited in the square within the square within the
사각형의
square.
사각형에
여기서
You're free to do your research here.
자네가 그토록
The mirror you seem to love so dearly.
거울 기술을 매일 식사와
Don't forget to
영양제
eat your meals and supplements every day.
잊지 말고
더 이상
There was no one left to gaze at the mirror and enjoy the sight, and it ceased to be a tool of enjoyment.
그럼에도
Yet, I still held on to it, for a
거울을
reason.
잡고 있었. 요새는 구보와도 말을 안 하다.
You wouldn't talk to even Gubo these days. You've been grasping at the mirror all day long.
네 등만
He
말없이
just started at you.
쳐다보다
He just stared at your back before
표정이
leaving.
안
The
좋다.
expression on his face wasn't good.
상관없어.
It concerns me not. I would much rather face you and talk to you.
얘기하는 편이 더 나아. 내가 등을
When I
돌리면
turn away, I would like you to do the
자네도
same.
같이 등을 돌려. 이상.
He's
구보는
saying,
너를
if
진심으로
Gubo
믿고
genuinely
있어.
cares about you, you know that,
알고 있지.
right?
구보가
I'm pretty sure you're the
몇
biggest
번이나
reason you decided to join the
걸고
League before it fell
네
apart.
영향이 그렇지 않소.
That is untrue. The one Gubo cares for the most would be himself.
자기 자신을
He
드러내게 할 수
simply
있는
happened to
것을
chance
찾던
upon me
중
while looking for things to make him
마치
stand out.
눈에 띈 것인. 그럼
Then,
드러나게
let him
해주면
do that.
되지.
You can be under the limelight
그의
as long as you're
역할을
standing next to him.
너도 지금은 엔사
Right now,
의사가
N-Corp's director's
너와
been trying to form a new league of the Nine with you, Gubo,
새로운
and
구인을
Isaiah.
만들고 있던 뿌리부터 달라진
I cannot
그
bring
친구가
myself to call that organization the League when its roots are
구인이라고
entirely
부를 수가
different.
없어.
It has simply borrowed the name that will have to be
이름을
returned one day.
빌려갈 뿐. 밖은 어떻소?
How go the affairs in the world outside? With your wings, you can be anywhere you'd like.
밖.
The outside.
매번 똑같아서 지겹지.
It's the same, tiring stuff. The world always flows along the same
동일한
current.
흐름으로 흘러가. 그렇지 않아?
Isn't that the truth?
그렇게 결속이
The League used to be bound to such
단단히
strong solidarity,
뿔뿔이
but now it is expanded.
모든
There's no
순간에
point in
일일이
feeling joy or despair
정하는
over every passing moment,
그러니까
so I want you to stay here with me. Be someone I can
같이
talk to.
머물러줘.
구보라는 친구분은 거울을
What did the
이용해서
fellow named
무엇을
Cuba want to do
하려고
with the mirror, I wonder?
엔사에서 정확히
What
무엇을
exactly
하려고
N-Corp wished to
했는지
do, I do not know in
나도
detail.
자세히는
I did not bother to ask.
구태영 다만
However,
이곳은 어때?
how do you like it here?
쓸만하니?
Is it comfortable enough? Are you keeping yourself fed?
제가 말하지
Like I said,
않았습니까?
ma'am, he is a reticent man.
없는 자라고.
거울과 유리 속
And do you know of a way to destroy all the worlds and the myriad possibilities they represent in the mirror and the glass window?
알고 있나?
나는
I...
모른다고 하긴.
Of course you'd say no. I'm telling you what to study.
내키지 않는다고
Even
해도
if you say you don't want to, I have plenty of other ways.
하지만
But I thought I should have the courtesy to politely ask you first, for your friend's sake.
친구에 대한
Ah, let's keep this as a little secret between the three of us, shall we?
둘은 구인회의 재가입을
Are the two still reluctant to join the League?
아세아는
Isaiah
상관없이
didn't seem to carry the way. These two are being tricky.
둘은 좀
염려치
There is no need for
마십시오.
your concern. They'll make up their minds soon.
정할 겁니다. 이곳에서 새롭게
The new League
창설될
formed here will be more
이곳은
powerful than ever.
훨씬
It's backed by
강력해질
none other than Mr. Amon.
다른 누구도 아니- 왜?
What is the problem? Are you hesitant to take the offer to have Dong Rang or Dong Bake to accompany you?
못하겠나? 자네가 의사를
Do you really not
확실히
see that I can only
나도
set my mind at
마음을
ease once you make your stance clear?
정말 몰라서 이러는
내 뜻은
My mind has not changed
예전과
from before.
변하지 않았소. 거울
Destruction of mirror worlds. Huh. Gubo and Herman seem pretty serious about it.
자는 꽤 맞소.
You would be right.
걷고자
Once they have their mind set on it, it'll undoubtedly be done.
그리고 나 또한
And I would end up aiding him in his purpose.
이루어주고 말하지만
However,
자네만큼
I do not wish for you to
사라지지
perish as a
않았으면
result.
좋겠어. 구보가 자네가
You must
좀
fly away and leave
남겨두자면
before Gubo destroys
이곳을
you as well.
날아가시오. 너는
What about you?
알고 있지 않소.
Is it not abundantly clear?
나는 할수
There's
있는
nothing
게
I am
아무것도
capable of,
없음을.
unlike you.
자네처럼
I have no wings
날개가
to fly
있어.
with.
날아갈 나에게는
I have no
불평이 없소.
complaints. If I mutely follow wherever they demand,
저들이
they will at
하는
least
대로
let me be.
진행하면 말하지 않았나.
As I have said, all that I have left
것은
is deep outside the mirror.
거울 밖에 잃어버리면
Whenever you've suffered a
새로운
loss,
메꿀 생각을
shouldn't you
하지
consider
않을 거야?
filling the void back up with new things?
묘한 소리를
What a
하는
peculiar question.
내 세계는
That is all of
무엇이 전부인데
that. This is
어떻게 새롭게 메운다는
this is
것이오.
all that is of my world. So how will I be able to fill in anew?
그리고 나서
After that, you wouldn't show up before me for a time.
문득
A
궁금해져.
question occurs to me at times.
전부라고 했.
I was the one who said this is all I have. So why did you make such a devastated expression as though you lost everything?
거울 속의 이상 씨는
It sounds like he sang in the mirror.
이상 씨를
Wanted to keep him
이곳에
in this
계속
place,
붙잡아두려는 것 같았어요.
telling him it's not safe outside, so he should stay inside.
하지만
But why would he do such a... We're here to seize the technology created by League in the Nine, an unauthorized organization with illicit activities. Present your clocks and identify yourselves in detail. Did the tech agency staff follow him all the way there? It's implausible for employees of D-Corp's tech agency to chase him into N-Corp, which suggests this is a foreign substance attempting to breach into the fathoms of ego.
어느 순간 돌아온
He
그대
returned to me after some time
이해가 되지 않는
and
말을
spoke strange things.
이상 구보가 그
He's saying,
파란 영양제를
when
가지고
Gubo
돌아오면
comes back with that blue
이번엔
supplement,
삼키지
keep it stored instead of swallowing it right away.
그렇게 사흘
After around 3
정도
days of doing so,
보이지
you'll start
않던
seeing
것이
things you
보이기
couldn't
시작할
before.
거야. 그날이 오면
When that day comes,
네
you will have two
선택지
options.
두 개가 첫 번째는
First is to chew up all the supplements you've gathered.
그런 깊은
It'll
잠에
put you into a
빠질
deep
거야.
sleep, but when you wake,
하지만 일어나면
everything will return to
모든
normalcy.
건 다 괜찮아져.
You'll spend your days wholly dedicated in the mirror technology like this, chatting with me from time to time. Status quo will be preserved.
담소도 나. 두 번째는
The second is to leave this place.
나는
I lack the wings to do so. How will I accomplish that?
어떻게 떠난단 말이야. 달기 날 수 없는
A chicken may not be able to fly. That does not
후드덕거리는
stop it from
행위가
flapping
멈추는
its
건 아니야.
wings.
끊임없이
It struggles
몸을
endlessly.
지지.
You perplex me. At this point in time, where must I even go? I have neither a hometown nor an equator to return to.
단순하게 생각해.
Be straightforward. If there is no hometown, you can walk ceaselessly until your feet decide to stop, and make that your
발걸음이
new
멈춘
home.
곳을 고향. 그대 말 따라
I followed your word.
나는 파란 영양제를 먹지.
Once I stopped taking the supplements,
네,
but it had only been a blur carved a clear image into my retina for the first time.
또렷하게 내가 있던 방.
The room I was in was not closed. It has always been open, and I had the freedom to go anywhere.
길고 좁은 복도를
Walking
거리.
through the long and narrow hallway, I saw how my mirror was being used.
어떻게 사용되고 있는 그러다.
Then,
갑작스럽게
a sudden wave of lassitude began to
피곤함이
surge.
시작하였어. 이대로 영양제를
If I took the
삼켜
supplements and
잠들면
fell asleep, everything would have
모든 게
stayed alright.
괜찮아질 터였지. 그리고
And I wish to believe that there must have been a
나와 구보
misunderstanding
사이에
between Gubo and me.
어떤 하지만
Alas,
나는
I stepped outside the white square and kept
밖으로
walking.
나와 걸었지.
어리석은 내 버시.
Have you decided to leave, my foolish companion?
나를 붙잡는
They
것이
were words
아니고
not meant to persuade me,
그저
but
할
merely
얘기의
counsel me.
말들은 아픔은 없었어.
Although they did not hurt, they may have left a mark.
남겼다.
돌아갈 곳도
You have nowhere to
없으면서
return to, and you're dragging that tottering body along?
어디에다
You truly believe you'll find a place to call home, wherever you might go.
부디
Enjoy your rest,
알고
then.
있으시게 황혼이 될
I'll return once twilight
다시
arrives.
돌아올 때
그렇게 나는
With that,
나의
I
마지막
parted from
배수로
Gubo,
남아있던
who was my last
구보를
remaining
좀
compatriot.
떠나버렸어. 철저하게
I was thoroughly
혼자가
isolated.
되어버린 것이지.
맞아.
That's right.
이렇게 우리
With this,
모두가 혼자
we ended up all alone.
그리고 나서
Only then,
마침내
at long last,
내 차례가
my turn had come.
이제 동랑
This
씨가
is the part where Mr. Dongrun
유리
handed the
기술을
last technology over
K사에
to
건넬
K-Corp.
차례예요. 잠깐이나마
We
구인회였던
were in the
저희는
league shoes, if only for a short while, so we know what's been going on.
그런데
But I must
어린아이의
say,
장난감
it's a bit
같다는
disheartening to
말이
hear you call them
좀
children's
섭섭한데?
playthings.
동물도
You won't be saying that once
사람이랑
you learn
똑같이
animals feel
아픔을
pain
느낀다는
exactly
것도
like
안다면
we do.
동랑
Dongrang, don't make clumsy attempts unless you're planning to save everyone in the city. If I thought this measly technology had what it takes to give every single person the help they needed, I would have given my all for it. But, you think that'll change anything? The world will still be a terrible mess. It was perfectly fine to be hurt. I didn't have to strain my body and heart trying to cure things.
나
I was
혼자
so
무언가를
stupid,
치료하려
wasn't I?
고생하거나
You should have braced for it. Have the guts to bite your tongue and die if you couldn't stand to survive alone in the hometown.
그래.
동랑 씨는 looks like Dongrang's.
왜 그렇게 놀라? 소문은 들었을
Why the
거야.
surprise? You must have heard stories about our winged singularity. Looking at it in person felt different as
실제로
all.
보니까
I didn't think I'd
또
come all the way
감회가
here.
새로워서요.
그래.
Yeah, most have similar reactions. So,
그래서
can you remind me
네가
of
할
what
수
you
있는
can
게
do?
뭐라고 했지?
Ah,
제가
we'll start with an
발명한
explanation of the
기술에
technology,
대해
I
설명부터
admit.
구인의 소원
My
인재라고
expectations are
들었는데
particularly high, because I
기대가
heard you're a
많아.
member of the League of Nine.
그
That young G
영지라는
person
사람이
still missing. that right?
아직도 행방불.
Yes, he is.
뭐
Well,
와이든 건
it's a shame about the League disbanding,
그
but
멤버
it's
중
fortunate we
하나라도
managed to
건질 수
recruit one of
있어서
them.
다행이야.
구인회는
The League of Nine always serves as a plentiful shade,
넉넉한
doesn't it?
되어주네요.
Then and now.
그러고 보니
By the way, this reminds me of a thing that would cry at me like this in the past.
동랑?
Dongrang?
아,
Oh,
그러니까
I mean, the reason I've
제가
come here
이곳에 온
is
이유는
동랑 씨를 보고 울던 것.
the thing that used to cry at Dongrang.
누렁이
You must
말이죠.
mean the yellow calf.
뭐 하는
What are you
거예요?
doing now?
구인회는
The League of
흩어졌고
Nine is disbanded, and the
연극도
play is over.
끝났어요.
You're not Urang anymore.
당신은 더 이상
그러게요.
You're right. Guess I got too
너무
immersed
몰입을
into like I was one of
한
your
거지. 잠깐이나마
companions at
당신의
first second.
것이라는 것이 당신은 바라던
You said you
것이었다고
fulfilled your
말하는데
wish. But it didn't seem that way to me no matter which way I looked at it.
누렁이를
Did
살릴
you
때
feel the same when you saved
그런
that calf?
마음이었나요?
함부로 말하지 말아줄래요?
You watch your words,
제가
and
뭔가를
save the
바라고
calf
누렁이를
expecting
사는
a
건
reward.
아니었어요.
누가 모르냐?
You think we don't know that?
발표
You saved the poor
직전
creature
개가
before it
우는
got
걸
crushed
보고
up because he felt like it.
마음이 내키는
I remember we
그냥
took turns
살려준
feeding it
거잖아.
milk.
그때는
I believed it would be okay to save lives without a price
괜찮은
back
세상일
then.
거라고 믿- 아무래도
Guess it wasn't just my work
그날 서각기에서
that burned away in the
태워진 건
incinerator that day.
고작 내 마음속에
My mind's
기억-
garden I had been tending to burned down with it.
그날
행적을 돌이켜
Taking a backward glance at our
우리
trails,
모두가
all of
많은
us
걸
had been
잃고
suffering
있었어.
great losses,
보아야 할
failing to
것을
see what needed to
못
be seen.
보고만 채로 미안하오.
Allow me to apologize for casting only slantwise glances.
망가지고 있는
We were all falling into
모두가
ruin all the same,
마찬가지였고,
and you were no different.
그대도
I
다를
did
게
not realize it
없었다는
then.
걸.
누렁이는
I wonder,
어딘가에서
do you think the cow is peacefully grazing the grass somewhere right now?
있으려나?
그래.
I'm sure of it.
돌아오지
He'll be
않으면
waiting for
너를
you,
기다리고
even if
있을
you
거야.
won't go back.
못 알아볼 거.
I don't think it'll recognize me.
옛날이랑은
I've changed too much from who I was in the
너무 많이
past.
달라졌잖아요. 네,
Yeah, you're right.
당신 말이
All the
맞아요.
trophies and awards on my desk
제
praising my
책장에 있는
excellence are
최우수
empty
상패들은
husks.
모두 껍데기 화려하게 빛나고 있지만
Although they dazzle gloriously, they're empty inside. They're husks I couldn't have ever gotten if I weren't a member of the
없었을
League.
껍데기. 그래서 난
That's why I like photographs.
사진은
They contain my image in all its honesty.
내가 담겨 있지. 어느 날부터
For however long, when I look up at the sky, I can't see a thing. It's like I'm under a giant shadow.
거대한 그
동랑 씨
Who is Mr.
누구랑
Dongrang
이야기를
talking
하고
to?
있는 거죠?
This time, it doesn't seem to be me.
나
I
이제 알것
might know what
같소.
is about to transpire.
저자는
That man is heading towards
지금
distortion.
뒤틀림을 향해 가고.
네.
Certainly.
그리고 뒤틀리는
And the
것은
distortion might not be the terminus,
선택의 단계가 아니라
but rather a
과정일
step in
수도
the
있어요.
process.
그럼
Then, is there any way we can help?
침상이
To
물리적으로
stop him from
발현되는
going astray in the
공간에서
space where mental images
자신의
take
길을
form.
이끌어면
As we
자연히
do, he will naturally
제
come to
길임을
accept what lies ahead as his
납득하는
path.
순간이 오게. 그게
That is how we
도와주는
can help him.
방법입니다.
그렇구나. 난 아마
So it comes down to this.
가겠지.
I'll probably die soon.
그렇게
In such a peaceful place.
평화로운 곳.
What?
뭐
You're right. It doesn't
정말이네요.
recognize me. I may be filled with
비록
husks
지금은
right now, but I
껍데기들로
know
채워져 있어도 거의 다 왔어.
I'm almost there.
곧
Soon, I'll make
내
my own
기술을
technology to
만들어서
fill myself up.
알맹이를 다시
I'll gather a
팀어놓고
team again.
비서를
Hire another secretary. There'll be a lot to
해야 할
do.
일이 많겠어. 그러니
So, I don't think I'll need you
더
anymore.
이상은
Dongrang,
동랑?
I wonder how long
나
you'll keep me
언제까지
waiting.
기다려야 할까?
Ah, sorry for the delay. I was reminded of
잠시
something I left
고향에
in my
두고 왔던
hometown.
게 떠오르. 지금은
But
두고
I've
오기에
realized now that this is the
앞으로
time
얻을
to be
것에
thinking about what
대해
I'll gain from that instead of what I left behind.
누구나 잠깐
Anyone can have a
어리석어질 수
moment of
있지.
foolishness.
그래.
Right,
눈물이
So,
끊임없이
you know what to
흐를 수
generate
있는
an endless stream of
방법을
tears,
알고 있다.
do you?
일정치의
To reach a
양을
certain
모으기
quota,
위해서
people are
사람이
tortured,
고문을
then cured using the tears, then tortured again.
치료하고 그러기에는
It's such a waste to keep spending a portion of tears on that.
그래서 여러 날개와
True,
뒷골목
they're importing
조직들로부터
footage from a variety of
영상들도
wings and
수입해오고
backstreet
있는데
syndicates as a substitute.
그 시청각 세력들도
They're asking higher and higher prices for the audio-visual feed, aren't they?
다른 세력들도
Other
힘을
factions are starting to
뚜렷하게
notice they're an evident
밀어붙이고
evil,
있는 거죠.
albeit faint,
우리
even if they don't know exactly what it's
어떻게
used for.
사용될지 모르겠지만
Could you please break a finger now? See,
이것
your
봐.
subordinate time to this chair seems to
여기
have lost it too.
당신 눈을 감아서는 안 되지.
I shouldn't close my eyes.
그런 시
Miss Carmen,
아무래도
I believe that's not exactly the case. The path hasn't ended, and I finally see clearly where I should go. Donggrain, after coming such a long way round, have you at last returned to this path? When I look into the eye, I don't feel the sympathy I used to anymore. Instead, do you see that? The pale imitation of the League's renowned glass window made by leeching off. It's now become the flag that raised the esteem of K-Corp's singularity high. Yes, I can see it well. Brother Youngji is left. Dongbei has returned to the bed of flowers. All that's left is a parasitic mutation of Youngji's glass. My shoddy copy of the glass, which didn't manage to be anything. What use is technology that can't change the world? So I want you to stop caring like I have. Let it cry for our agony and sorrow in our stead.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
모라를 받으시죠. 불길 속으로. 그 오물을 떼어내주지.
무상한 목숨. 불끈히 지원할 뿐.
Dongrang no longer feels pity for test subjects, even if his technology isn't recognized. Even when he thinks of the Yellow Calf in his hometown, he isn't sad anymore. The past is all useless. I'll burn it all. And Yi sang, I'd like you gone as well. Dongrang begins to freshen Yi sang. Rodion managed to block Dongrang's attack. You're being a nuisance. Dongrang muttered as his weapon bounced off. Beneath the bitter chuckle was a cold fury.
눈에 새겨주지.
다 죽어라.
배달부 보조및 통제 시스템 시작. 침착하게 판도를 개척하십시오.
불길 속으로.
길에서 비켜.
잡아드리죠.
그래서 비켜.
잡아드리죠.
I've decided to erase all the past. In other words, I will have no business left with you once Yiseng is gone. Dongrang frowned, seeming quite displeased. And yet, why do you keep interrupting? Dongrang seems to be preparing for a powerful attack. Maybe this gap could be exploited. Rodion drove the weapon under Dongrang while his focus was elsewhere. Looks like the attack was successful. The move Dongrang was preparing didn't come through. I see where you stand. Then I'll just get rid of you all along with Yiseng and his ideal.
자,
잡아드리죠.
그 오물을
순순히 보라를 받으시죠.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버리죠.
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
속으로
지금은 좋아.
하지 마.
무상한 목숨. 불끈한 지원의 뿐.
I really shouldn't waste my time like this. The opportunity isn't time to change the world. We're scattering. Dongrang then glared with bloodshot eyes. Yiseng, it's you. You're the only one who needs to go for this to be over! Yiseng walked ahead. I must insist that I mark the end for Dongrang, for that would be most ideal. Yi Sang managed to stop Dong Rang in his path. Yi Sang, I plead you, end this now, Dong Rang. How can I? In the end, someone has to cry tears. Isn't that right? Dong Rang pulled the weapon, launched himself deeper inside. Let's end it this way, Yi Sang. Dong Rang has been confronted.
All I need is a nudge to get me. So give me more.
분명
Though I was certain I had left,
생각했지만 나는 아직도
it would appear I am still
그
inside that white
하얀색
square.
사각형 내부 이제서 만물은
At this point, all things have been reduced to mere dots to me,
감격도
utterly
주지
incapable of stimulation or
점들이 지나지
inspiration.
않게 되어버렸어. 나는 평생
Will I follow this meaningless walk, wandering my whole life?
걸음을 우리는
We're only chickens whose
끊임없이
wings are
날개가
perpetually.
잘렸지만
이상 씨가
Mr. Yu Sang seems to be in a bad spot.
단테님,
Dante,
비록 영지
even though I only delivered Youngji's words with my tongue, it does give me a thought. Maybe these letters Yu Sang wrote weren't meant for just Yu Sang in the mirror alone. To all the people he had ties with in his past, those he knows in the present, and those he might meet in the future. You mean including us? I'm thinking it might have been a call for help all along. Yu Sang, what was on your mind just before you left Encore?
구보마저
When I
떠나보냈을
parted
때
with Gubo,
별은 빛을
the stars lost their shine and let darkness fill the air, and I felt as though I were crippled.
나는 하지만
Yet,
날개가 없어.
I thought there may be a place that would allow me to live on, even if I had no wings and my legs limped.
신락 같은
The thread of hope couldn't be thinner, but I held on to the faint possibility.
우리는
When we,
적어도
or at least I, saw your mirror,
네 거울에
I thought I was seeing what we didn't
우리가
have.
없는 것들을 그래서 멀어 보여.
That's why they seemed so far, and why I could only look.
바라볼 수밖에. 그래서
That's why I had to settle
현실이
for this
안 좋을
reality,
수밖에 없었던 거야. 마치
like how I dreamed of stars as I watched fireworks.
하지만 거울은
But the mirror,
가능성을
what it shows are possibilities. So, do you see what I'm getting at? You don't have to envy the mirrored images.
네가 바라보았던
What you saw were the possibilities you held. You've had them all along. The wings to make your possibility a reality. That's what I wanted to tell you.
이 말을 해주고 싶어. 첫 번째 수강자
Yi Sang,
이상
the first sinner,
기다리고 있었답니다.
I have been waiting for you.
림버스
If you
컴퍼니에
join Limbus
입사하신다면
Company,
깨어지고
I
찢어진
promise we will help you
당신의
recover your
날개를
torn and broken
다
wings.
찾아드리죠. 그리고
And,
어때?
well,
나는
I
깨진 조각들을
do not
다시
possess the talent to
재주는
pick up
없어.
shattered pieces.
하지만
However,
반짝거리던
those
그
sparkling
눈빛들은
eyes, they were
거짓이
not vain.
아니었어. 우리의 굴곡은
Our
불행을
torturous
만들 거야.
path will circle around misery.
인연이라고 생각했던
What we thought were
것은
bonds will be inevitably
언젠가
lost,
반드시
and
흩어지고
precious
말
things
거고.
will shatter into shards that stab
소중한
your soft
것일수록
heart.
산산조각 알고 있어.
I am well aware.
그렇게
It is for that reason all
모든 건
things have become
허무같은
worth no
찰나에
more
지나지
than
않을
futile
텐데.
ephemerality. Yi Sang, why did you make the mirror?
나는
I
가치를
never
담기
made
위해
technology to
기술을
hold any
만든
value
적은
in them.
없었어. 과거로 돌아갈
I know well
자가
enough I have no
또한
way to
없다는
return to the
것도 알고
past.
있지. 그저
Simply,
네가 들고 있는 그 거울은
that mirror you're holding
연심이라.
is what I call Yunsim.
연심이라.
Yunsim. Huh.
이것은
This is a product of
무언가를
grinding something,
갈아내고
scraping even the mind of polish it.
마음마저도 갈아. 그렇구나.
I see. I suppose all
모든
versions of
이상은
Yi Sang were dedicated
연구의
to research.
진심이었나 봐. 나는
I thought I had lost my
날개를
wings,
잃었다고.
that I couldn't have them.
갖지 못했다고 생각. 날개 쭉지만을
I thought I'd
애달프게
been clinging to
요동치며
research, pathetically
연구를
stroking the
붙잡고
joints where
있었다고
wings used to be.
생각했지만 사실
But I
거울의
believe now I know the
진실은
mirror's true name,
이 연심.
Yunsim.
이것은
It's a bridge that joins hearts
마음과
together.
마음을 이어 줄기차게
I made the
살아.
mirror because I wish to continue living
허덕이며
and
날개짓
flapping
해보고
and
싶은
fluttering.
게 추락하더라도
I wish to
좋으니
soar into the air once more,
다시 한번
even if I fell.
허공을 향해 날아. 어느 날
One day,
이거는
despair will
반드시
arrive for
절망하고
certain.
말 것이오.
It's for that reason,
그렇기
life must go
때문에
on, as far as it can.
어디까지라도 날개가
Whether or not I had wings
있느냐
mattered
없느냐.
not.
모든 이상은
All Yi Sangs have
빼어난
outstanding
재주를 가지고
talent.
있어.
At the same
동시에
time,
모든
all Yi
이상은
Sangs are ignorant.
무지하지. 모든 이상이
All Yi
보는
Sangs
날개가
can see
보이지만
wings, but only one
단
Yi Sang
하나의
can fly.
이상만은 알 수 있어. 그렇다면
If such is the case,
거울 속의 이상은
The
거울
Yisang in the
밖의
mirror must be the opposite of the Yisang
반대일
outside.
테지만
But they're quite alike, too.
또 꽤 닮아 있. 네가 보았다던
I mean, the wings you say you
빛나고
saw,
찬란했던
those
그
radiant and
날개
magnificent
말이야.
wings,
그건 나의 날개이지.
they're my wings, and they're
거울에
yours in
비친 너의
reflection.
날개야. 왜
Why do I think that?
그렇게 생각하니?
It's obvious. The mirror is the reflection of the
뻔하지
self.
않겠어? 내게서
If
날개가
you saw wings
보였다면
on me, then they were
그
on you as well.
날개는 너에게
They would
돼.
obviously belong to you.
당연. 그럼
Now,
이제 땅을
kick off the
밟자.
ground and flutter your wings.
날개짓 대프죠.
All I wished for.
한 번 더
Just once more,
날고 싶었어.
I wish to fly.
세 장을 깨고
Break the bird cage.
자유롭게.
And be free. Ye sing. I remember that spring day.
우리
Stars rose in our eyes.
별들이 떠올랐지. 반짝거리지.
They sparkled
네 날개
as brightly as your wings.
반짝거리는
I've always yearned to
그래서 항상
escape the shadows of the League.
결국
In the end, it is that same shadow that embraces me after everything. After some time has passed, with Dongrangstef, our contract with him was rendered null and void. Meaning, the only way for us to be handed the Golden Bough was,
뭐
well,
결과적으로는
consequently,
나쁘진
it
않네.
wasn't all bad, but it's
좋지는
not
않지만.
good either.
동백이라고 했나?
Since the leader of the terrorists,
조직의
Dongbek,
수장이
was it,
죽었으니
has died,
단체가
their
와야
organization
되는 건
should collapse in no
순식간이겠어.
time. As for the remaining
그러면
problems,
이젠 이렇게 하는 게
I have a
어떨까
suggestion on
싶어.
how to handle them.
오늘
Everything that
K사에서
happened in
벌어졌던
K-Corp
모든 일은
today was single-handedly
동남이라는
caused by a
한
mentally
정신이
unstable,
상실자,
rebellious employee
반사회적
named Dong
성향을
Grang,
지닌 직원이 개인의 이득과
in his scheme to
권력을
unfairly claim personal
부당하게
gains and
취하기
power
위해
from the
벌인
firm. Do
단독
you agree?
행동이에요. 그걸로
Are you sure? Are you sure you're okay with that cover-up
저희한테는
story?
적이었을지라도
You may have opposed us, but he was your employee,
당신에게는
wasn't he?
직원이었는데 특별 인사라면
Well, I did say
아까
my goodbyes
전화통화도
at the phone
했어.
call earlier. Some cheeky man he was.
림버스 컴퍼니의
And you're a manager at
관리자.
Limbus Company. Dante,
단테라고
right?
하나?
You seem somewhat
관리자
unassertive for a
직원은
manager.
질질 끌 나중에
If you want to be a
리더가
leader,
되고
you'd
싶다면
best
하라도
remember to nip any rising
문제가
problem in
생기면
its bud.
재빨리 싹 빠를수록
The
좋지.
faster, the better. Screw yourself. You also hired Shi Association's assassins to silence Shren, didn't you?
알겠다고 하시네.
They're telling you they got the message.
영
I thought you were
반품이라고
something of a half-wit,
생각했는데.
but I suppose you weren't
역시
put in charge for
관리자는
nothing.
관리자군. 아,
Ah,
하나 더.
and one more thing.
어쩌다가
I don't know if
우리
things
K사의
got complicated
특이점까지
enough for you to get
건드려버릴
involved with our wing
정도로
singularity,
일이
but
복잡한 눈물 흘리는
the tearful
것은
thing
외부로
was
절대
K-Corp singularity
공개되어서는
itself,
안
and a
되는
confidential
우리
detail we could no
K사의
way allow to be known.
그 자체 림버스 컴퍼니는
Limbus Company does not give away
탐색을 통해
confidential
얻는
information
기밀
gained during
정보를
investigation.
일부러 누설하지
If you'd
않아요.
like, we could arrange a contract
원하-
to...
방금 너희의
Are you
계약서가
seriously
백지로
offering that
들어간
after just
것을
seeing a
보고도
contract you signed turned to
그런
worthless
소리가
paper
나오니?
stacks?
그런 종이
I couldn't let
쪼가리에
a
내가
piece of paper
저당이
buy me
잡힐
down.
수는 기억 소거
I'll get
절차를
your memories
진행할게.
erased.
뭐
Sink.
푼.
Tamper with
내
my memories and I'll
기억에
cut you
손을
down to
대면
bits.
남김없이 갈라주겠어.
We'll follow your
그렇게
method.
하도록 하죠.
이 새끼.
You piece of...
뭐
Well,
이왕
since you're about to forget it all,
정정해주자면
let me correct one thing.
당신들이 본
What you
건
saw wasn't the
눈물
actual
흘리는 것의
tearful thing.
본체가 아니라
It's a child, and
자식이야. 그 소중한 본체.
we couldn't leave such a precious
근본도
asset in
없는
the
어느
hands of some
연구자에게
researcher with no real
맡길 수
credentials
없는
now,
노릇이잖아.
could we?
그래도
It would
우리
sadden me
날개의
if you believed that
자부심인데
fiddling thing was the pride of our
그렇게
wing.
초라한 것이라.
Ah, not that you'd have a
어차피
chance to think that,
생각하지도 못.
in spite of Ryoshi's menacing intimidation. Following the unfriendly instructions of people who appear to be K-Corp high-rank staff and fixers, we were put through a memory procedure, erasing every recollection of the tearful thing from the sinners' heads. As we left, Alfonso told us to take a look forward to how tears will be used in the future. The sinners had memories of seeing something in the laboratory, but none of them could recall what it was, how the tears are collected, or how each beetle is made. By the way, he sang. Where did you want to fly?
그저 나는 기분을
I would have been
느끼는
content
곳으로.
with the feelings it would give.
좋았어.
What about now? I will leave no
뭐
comments on
코멘트
that.
하겠어.
What they didn't notice, however, is that the memory wipe didn't work on me for some mysterious reason. Could I recover the sinner's wipe memory somehow, like how I rewind their injuries using the clock? The thought occurred to me, but alas, I don't know how I'd do that, and I'm not sure it'd be possible at all. I was sure about one thing. The fact that I'm retaining the memories I tried to erase must be valuable, so I decided to stay quiet about it.
하지만
However, Manager,
이 정도는
I will say this
알겠어.
much.
이제는
From now on, I plan to face what I have left,
마주 볼 남은 것이
those being the mistakes the League 9 has left, and the tasks left for me.
내게는 그러니
Thus,
필요하다면
I would like to resist as much as I
할 수
can if
없는
needed.
저항을 해볼 사람이 부러운데
No longer will I bend as the wind blows. I won't let it sway me or strike me down.
비껴보고
Rather than be slantwise and seek,
걷고자 하는
I intend to
곳으로
walk where I plan to go.
거리하기에 도와줄 수
Will you
있겠소.
aid me in my endeavors, Dante? Of course. That's right. Even if their memories are taken, it won't gnaw away the determination that has firmly taken root in their hearts. Then, what is the determination that I have left? How much must I remember and witness? Thinking such thoughts, I looked at Virgilius, who was on the other side, because it would be one of the manager's duties to remember and witness all this. You heard what I said?
탄태 씨가
Dante asked if you
자신의
heard what
말을
they said.
들었냐고 물어보고
I couldn't hear the usual text, so I'd have no way to know if he even said something. Of course, I can't hear your words, Manager Dante. It was just idle talk. The look on your face seemed to warn me. Did I have facial expressions?
멈추지 않는 그
May the
눈물에
meaning of those ceaseless tears be of effervescence.
감격에게 당신의 소원
Your wish, as well as
우리의
ours,
소원은 언제나
are
그렇듯
being realized to the best of our abilities as always.
이뤄지고 있어.
잘 지내시오.
Have you been well?
거울을 볼
Whenever I
때마다
look at a mirror, I find myself
무뚝
greeting
인사를
it.
하고 나오. 인사란 서로
It is said that a greeting is only
주고받아야
natural when it is
자연스러운
mutually
것이라 하지만
exchanged.
언젠가
But I do not mind the
전설거로
one-sidedness, because I believe it'll be conveyed someday.
괜찮소. 이제 나는
I have decided that from now on,
존재하지 않을
I will no
테니
longer be stopped in place,
모든 건
even if all will
결국
ultimately remain
변하지
unchanged.
않겠지만 나 역시도
I,
이제
too, shan't change
변하지
either.
않을 테니 너무 걱정들
You have
하지
no need to
마시오.
be overly concerned
내
for me.
곁에는
I now have new
새로운
companions
것들이
by my side.
생겼어. 그들은
Though I cannot be
어찌
sure
생각할지
what they will think of
모르겠으나
this, I intend to consider
난
them as
이들을
such.
벗삼 그럼
To close off,
끝에 붙여
allow me one final remark.
사는 내내
May you all keep
모두가
company with peace
평안하시길.
throughout your lives.
이상
Yours sincerely, Issei.
꽃이 보이지
The
않는다.
flowers unseen, the
꽃이
flower is
향기롭다.
vagrant.
향기가
The fragrance is in full bloom. I dig a grave for
나는
myself there.
거기 묘혈을 판다. 그림자를 쫓던 나날들 남은 건 허망한 기억 불길이 나를 태운 것처럼 내 손엔 잿빛 먼지뿐 향기가 만개한다 나는 거기 묘혈을 판다 묘혈도 보이지 않는다 보이지 않는 묘혈 속에 나는 들어앉는다 나는 눕는다 쉼없이 달려왔던 나를 죄어오던 시간들 이조차 그리워질까 어느 날 언젠가는 돌이켜볼 기억 속에 미소 질 수 있기를 향기가 만개한다 나는 잊어버리고 재차 거기 묘혈을 판다 묘혈은 보이지 않는다 보이지 않는 묘혈로 나는 꽃을 깜빡 잊어버리고 들어간다 내게 남은 알 수 이제는 나가야 할 때 자신을 태워 사라져가는 촛불과 닮아 있구나. 숨고를 새도 없이 떠밀려 던져진 날 속에 내 길을 갈 수 있기를. 너는 날 언젠가는 돌이켜볼 기억 속에 미소 지을 수 있도록. 나는 정말 눕는다 꽃이. 멀리 멀리 날아가고 싶어. 밤하늘의 새처럼 별에 닿을 수 있게. 이 밤 또다시 찾아오겠지만 괜찮아. 다 사라지네. 보이지도 않는 꽃이 괜찮아.
They sure are serious about eating. It amazes me how they can look so happy while eating out. I stepped out of the restaurant to briefly catch some fresh air. I didn't even notice you arrived. How long have you been there? I told you that I would come to see you again. Why can't people settle for just looking? It should be enough to simply admire it, smell the scent, and enjoy the moment. But they nurture greed and obsession as they contain it in their sight, eating themselves away. The mirror, too, was first created for simple enjoyment. You could compare it to a bag of chips with hundreds of flavors, for example. But then someone came up with an idea. What if there was a way to reach that possibly infinite bag of chips and take what I don't have? What if all of us could have all the flavors that way? It wouldn't be considered theft, according to the rules made by adults anyway. That, in fact, is stealing from me. Countless stars are in the sky, but they aren't all the same. If someone else saw them, they might have been nothing more than dim lumps of light. But someone who found the twinkle staggeringly charming took one of these stars, and hung it on a high enough place for everyone to see, expelling the dark. All the people would rejoice. Now, here's a question. What will become of me who has been robbed by me and the star that's now forced to illuminate the dark forevermore? The mirror your friends use is any different. That is such a cruel piece of technology. Take your time with the answer. Just draw me a sheep later. You may not remember it right now, but you promised to. Just as I tried to say something, he vanished, leaving only a hint of loneliness. He was nowhere to be seen, as if he returned right where he belonged. I couldn't remember what I was trying to answer.